Hello, my name is Kim and bienvenidos to a timeless reading where we are going to find out what the signs you have been seeing and the synchronicities you have been experiencing as of late signify and or mean. What is it that they have been trying to tell you? And so for this reading, I am not going to be really focusing on what the signs you've been seeing are or what the synchronicities you have been experiencing are. I'm more so going to be focusing on doing my best to confirm to you the meaning behind them. And I do want to emphasize the word confirm because this reading is intended to serve as a confirmation to you, rather than me telling you this is the meaning behind these signs and these synchronicities and that's that. You cannot object to it. No, because remember, every reading out there, it's more so to serve as a confirmation to you, to help you gain a better understanding or a different perspective into whatever it is that you are inquiring about or experiencing at the moment, okay? But let's see. This is a timeless reading, so you can come back to this reading at any time if you don't really feel called to any of the options at this moment. And if you do feel called to choose more than one option, more than one group, then that is perfectly fine because you may be inquiring about, like different signs or different synchronicities and such. Yeah, and once again, remember, only take that which resonates, claim that which serves you and helps you and aids you at this time, and leave the rest. You do have free will and you're always encouraged to exercise it. Okay, but with that being said, let us now take a closer look at the options. Representing group 1 is the cat pin. Representing group 2 is the angel pin. Representing group 3 is the shell or the tiny shell. Representing group 4 is the locket. Oops. And representing group 5 is the Friends of Optimists pin. Please take a moment to meditate on the options, and whichever you are drawn to the most, then that will be the option and or group meant for you. And remember, if you feel drawn to more than one, you can definitely select more than one group. And if you feel drawn to neither, then if you'd like, consider coming back to this video at a later time. And once you have selected, then please head on over to either the description box or the pinned comment in the comment section down below, where the timestamps that will allow for you to skip ahead to your selected group can be found. Okay, and if you are ready, then let us get started. Let's go. Hello, if you were drawn to the cat pin, bienvenidos to your reading. So I know this might sound very obvious, but this pin made me think of the expression cat lover. I guess it's because of the little heart that is on the cat. So some of you may be cat lovers or animal lovers, and it's very likely that a lot of the signs or synchronicities you see and or experience might be via animals, or animals are involved in these in some kind of way. Oh, as I just said that, I don't know if you noticed like a shadow here. One of the kitties that comes visit us just jumped from one roof to the other. So, and that was their shadow. Yeah, so cats may very well be of significance. They could also be your spirit animal or power animal, possibly an animal totem. And what I just heard was cat guardian. So some of you could resonate with having a guardian that is in its form feline or cat-like. You could also often connect to or work with a deity who is associated with felines or cats. One that comes to mind is Bastet, who is an Egyptian goddess. But what was I going to say? Oh, yes. If you have one or more animal companions that are currently on the other side, they are coming through to say hello and to send you lots and lots of love and to remind you that they do visit you. And I do get the feeling that for a lot of you, one of your spirit guides is an animal companion of yours that has passed on. Yeah, and so it's very possible that a lot of the signs you have been seeing recently are coming directly from this animal companion. Okay, but now I'm going to move on to the cards. I'm picking up on a very fuzzy energy, sweet and fuzzy. Okay, no, this one. So we have number 34 with passion. The frequency of passion reminds us that beneath every intense emotion lies the hidden gem of insight, balance, and calm. It assists us in finding the balance within this intensity, moving us from chaos to the calm of its core, where we can let its long-lasting wisdom fill us up. So a couple of messages came through right away. So first and foremost, if it is resonating with you that you are receiving messages from either a spirit animal or an animal companion who is currently on the other side, then your animal companion wants for you to know that they really enjoy your passionate energy. They are really enjoying how enthused and excited you get about the things that you love, are passionate about, and or interested in. There's something here about them loving seeing you work on what you love. So for some of you, it could be that when you start working on like personal or passion projects or things that excite you or stimulate you intellectually, creatively, you could get really into the zone, really into what it is that you are doing. So much so that the time passes by for you quickly or you forget the time. And these are the moments that your spirit animal, animal guide, animal companion, or friend is referring to because they love seeing you happy. They love seeing you excited. And it could also be that when you are in this energy, when you are working on things that you love, your energy field, maybe your aura changes quite a bit. The colors could become more vibrant or intense, or your auric field gets larger. The expression larger than life just came through. Yeah, so if you are someone who tends to be quite shy and reserved, then you can oftentimes, maybe intentionally or unknowingly, pull your energy to you, especially if you are not wanting to call attention to you. But when you are in the zone, you forget about doing that. You forget about all of that. You allow yourself to be, and that's when there's an explosion of colors in your auric field or your energy field. It's able to stretch and take up space and room in a very beautiful and organic way. Yeah, because with number 34, if I look at the numbers individually, the number 3 speaks of expansion, growth, and creativity. Creating can also speak about working with others, teamwork, collaboration. And the number 4 is a number that often indicates foundations, protection, grounding, healing, stability. And so both of these are making me think of work, but it's making me think of creative work or work that grounds you, work that allows for you to be, to express yourself, to even come back to center, find or reestablish inner balance. So there's something here about you allowing yourself to pursue that which brings this side of you out, that enthusiastic, excited, and eager side of you. Because I feel that when you are in this energy, that's when you are able to remember yourself is how it's coming through. That's when you are able to feel the most in alignment with your inner being, with your inner truth is how it's coming through. And I feel that if you ever do feel out of balance, or you are starting to feel frustrated, or notice that you are becoming more irritable or even restless, it could be that there is pent up or repressed passion. And I am associating passion with creative energy. We do have this beautiful color red and also hues of orange in this illustration, and the color red is associated with the root chakra and the color orange with the sacral chakra. The root chakra is the energy center in which we ground, and it is often associated with feelings of stability, of safety, whereas the sacral chakra is the energy center that has to do with our passion and our creativity, our drive. And these two energy centers are right next to each other. So they're very much connected. Of course, every energy center does influence the other. They are all connected. Yet how it's coming through for this case or for your reading is that these two energy centers at this moment, they do have an immense influence on one another. So if your sacral chakra is off balance, that will affect your root chakra. And if your root chakra is off balance, that will affect your sacral chakra. This is true for all of the energy centers, but again, I feel that this is more so the case for these two during this time. And so it seems that when there is, I wouldn't say a lack of passion, because that's not it. I feel like there's a lot of passion. You are a very passionate individual. And what may happen is that when you are not channeling this passion in a creative or even healthy way, then that is when you might experience imbalance or disharmony, or you might start getting a bit frustrated, irritable. I might start experiencing anger and or restlessness. I just heard in Eminem's voice, temper, temper. So two different things are coming to mind. Either the signs and synchronicities are hinting at you that it's time to connect with something that you love and excites you and stimulates you intellectually, emotionally, creatively, because there is pent-up passion, because there is build-up creative energy. And so if it's not channeled through some creative or healthy outlet, then it's going to grow restless and over time transform into something that might end up to you being quite uncomfortable. Like, for example, frustration, actual restlessness. Yeah, I feel you guys are quite creative, or you have an intense creative energy, and this is meant to be channeled. It's meant to be released in a healthy way, and it could be through a creative outlet, but it could also be through maybe exercising, moving about. I'm thinking of dancing. It could also be something like speaking passionately about something that you are genuinely interested in, or engaging in conversations that intellectually stimulate you, or what I saw in my mind's eye was a crowd watching a sports match or a sports game. So, sport fans can get really passionate about the game and about their team. And so it's that kind of energy, like also going to a concert, being in that kind of environment that allows you that acceleration while you are enjoying something that brings you joy and that connects with that creative and passionate side of you. And for a lot of you, for those of you who associate with being quite sexual, this could also have something to do with connecting with your physical body. If you're currently in a relationship and you and your partner are at that stage where you feel very comfortable being intimate with one another, then this could be about you being passionate with your significant other. Because in you channeling this creative energy, I feel that is how you restore harmony or find that inner balance. Think of it as a spring or a waterfall, right? There needs to be some kind of release for there to be flow and for there to be calm as well. And the other thing is that these signs and synchronicities, what they can mean, especially when you are engaging in something that you love and brings you joy and is conducive to your well-being, is an encouragement. Like, yes, this is it. Keep going. We are loving this energy. We are loving seeing you happy and excited. This is good. Keep going, keep going. Because there's also something here about through this, you're also cleansing. Through this, you're also restoring balance. You're releasing any, let's say, blockages or stagnant energy. So let me pull out more cards. And there's something here about a spirit guide really loving your enthusiasm, especially when you speak about things that really interest you. Like they really love that energy. They really love to hear you, listen to you, and see you. Because maybe you're someone who is really expressive, especially with their hands or with their body while you speak, and they really love that. They really love how expressive you are. And it's sort of like they are reminding you that this aspect of you, how you express yourself, how you communicate, is quite beautiful. And we have Journey. And we have Release. Yeah, so I spoke about how in channeling this passionate or creative energy, you are also able to release. And in this image, we have these hands releasing rocks and or pebbles, which makes me think of energy that was uncomfortable, or again, like blockages, stagnant energy. So if you ever feel like it's time to do some kind of purge or any energy cleanse, know that you could do so by you engaging in something that excites you, or that gets you all pumped up, more like. And with Journey, this tent here is making me think of rest. And so with passion, you will know once you have experience some kind of release, because afterwards you will feel a great sense of calm and relaxation. A lot of you could even just feel a desire to take a nap, go to sleep, or you will have the best sleep that you've had in a while. There's also this feeling of a day well spent or an afternoon well spent. So that's how you might feel once you're hitting the hay, like, oh, this was an amazing day. I got to do this. I got to talk about that. I got to meet up with friends that I love, and so forth. And although the energy I've been describing feels quite exhilarating, might even feel a bit intense, I want to clarify that this doesn't always have to feel intense, right? Because just like a flame, it can be hot, intense, and burning bright, or it could be warm and steady, emitting a soft light, but it's still a flame. The flame is still very much alive and vibrant. So this passion might express itself or come through for you in different ways. In different temperatures is how it's coming through. At times it might burn hot, and at other times it might be a little bit more soft and gentle. What I'm sensing right now is warmth. So it could kind of be like that warm feeling you feel in your belly, that feeling of contentment possibly. Maybe it's that giddiness, that feeling of joy mixed with contentment. So I think you're also being reminded with Journey that not every step of your journey has to be a super thrilling one or exhilarating one, or that if it isn't, that's nothing bad, right? Because time of rest and recovery, time of slowing down a bit, taking a breather is also necessary, and it is required. And I'm noticing we actually have this river here, which is again making me think of energy flowing. So there's also something here about it slowing down, or a reminder to you that it's okay to slow down every now and then, and that it's important. And the signs and synchronicities could be speaking about or hinting at a very specific passion of yours. Like I said, some of you could very well be animal lovers, and so maybe you have a passion for helping, assisting, aiding animals who don't have a home, or who are injured, or who are in need of special care and attention. You are an animal advocate. With Journey, some of you could be environmentalists. And so I think if that is the case, you are being encouraged to pursue these passions. Yet with Release, your spirit guides, I do feel like the signs and synchronicities you receive are coming from your spirit guides. They are reminding you that in you aiding or extending a lending hand, providing a service to a community or to a cause, or even to the world, does not mean that you carry the whole responsibility of the world or of a cause. There's something here about you being reminded that you have done your very best and that you're doing your very best. And so if some things feel out of your control, they feel out of your hands, it's not because you have failed in any way. It's never that. It's not because you didn't do enough or you didn't do well. If you have that belief, I feel like that's the belief that you are being asked to let go of, because that isn't true and it isn't serving you. Because if it felt out of your hands, it's because that situation was indeed out of your hands. This possibly it had its own destiny. It had its own journey already mapped out for it. So yeah, there's just a reminder here to be very careful with not taking on maybe burdens that aren't yours, or taking on this responsibility that really ultimately isn't for you to take on. Yet I do want to point out the number 34 because it may be of significance, or the numbers 3 and 4 could be of importance. Maybe you have been seeing these numbers quite often. It could also be that the month of March or April could be of significance. Maybe you were born on those months, or you could have been born on the 3rd, the 4th of a month, or you might be a life path number 3 or life path number 4. But anything else? So we have justice in the reversal with injustice, corruption, and lack of accountability. Yeah, I feel like a lot of you could definitely feel called to be advocates or to help communities. You could feel quite passionate about bringing justice to certain situations or bringing balance into certain environments. Yeah, with justice in the reversal, I do sense you are someone with very strong integrity. And so you could often feel this great sense of responsibility. Like if you see an injustice, you could immediately feel this responsibility to step forward, to speak up, to advocate for those who are receiving or experiencing the injustice, to help others, to be of service. Or this is how you yourself might be channeling your creative energy. Yet, so I think that's why release also came through, because as mentioned, there will be some things that will be out of your control, and these are the things that you are being encouraged to release or to let go of, because holding on to them or making yourself responsible for them isn't going to change them. It might only end up hurting you, because just imagine these rocks here, they look a bit jagged. If these hands were to continue holding on to them and holding on to them tightly, eventually these rocks will end up hurting this individual's hands. Right? So we don't want you to hold on to that which needs to be released or let go of, because holding on to them could end up hurting you, or could over time, if you keep holding on to more and more, become a burden in and of its own. So it's okay to let go. It's okay. Oh, these are way too many cards. And we also have the Two of Swords with at a crossroads, avoiding the truth, and tough choices. This is an interesting one. So what came through with Two of Swords is, at times you might, or if you do, struggle with making decisions when you need to. It could be because you have, again, this strong sense of responsibility to do the right thing, or possibly do right by others. For some, only take that which resonates, remember. It might be the case that when you are faced with a decision, instead of immediately thinking about what you would want, you start thinking about how your decision might affect others, which I think personally that it's a beautiful thing, because it shows your compassion, it shows your empathy, it shows your consideration. Yet this thinking about how your decision will affect others, or more like if it will please others, or if it will align with what others expect from you, or align with other people's beliefs, ideals, and values, that can create some inner conflict. Because instead of you taking the time to go within and listen to your inner guidance, or allow for your own enthusiasm and excitement to guide you to some kind of decision, you're thinking about others. You're thinking maybe about the world. And I know some people might associate this with people pleasing, and it could come off that way, but personally I'm sensing quite a mature vibe here, because I immediately thought of a king, of a ruler, of a leader who, in their ruling and their leadership, they often need to make decisions, and it can be sometimes tough for them, because they don't only have to consider what they want, they have to consider what will be good for their citizens, for their people, for their kingdom, and for their rulership as well, right? So there's a lot, I feel like when you have to make decisions, there's a lot that you end up considering, and so it might end up being quite difficult. And so when you are faced with some decision, or you need to make some final decision, and you're finding it difficult, you're starting to get a little bit confused, you're starting to experience inner conflict, you feel at some kind of crossroads, then the signs and synchronicities you see and or experience then could be a reminder to you or a suggestion to you to, for a moment, allow yourself to release this sense of responsibility. And I want to be careful with this, because this is not about you being reckless or you just not caring about others or the world or about the consequences. It's more like, for a moment, allow yourself to think about you. For a moment, allow yourself to just listen to what your inner being is trying to convey to you and tell you. For a moment, allow for that creative, passionate energy in you to come through and to tell you what it longs for, what it would like to pursue, what it would like to do. Because with this passion, once again, you are quite passionate and it seems like you know what you want. Your energy is coming through as quite assertive. And if you don't feel you are quite assertive, I feel like that's something that you're coming to learn about yourself, or you're starting to get a little bit more comfortable with, or starting to connect to. Because with journey, this is reminding me of, at the end of the day, this is your journey. Whatever decisions you make, you will be the one who will take responsibility for them, right? Whatever path you choose, it will be you who will end up walking on that path and dealing with whatever that path comes with. So if what you feel to be right for you, what you feel aligns with your morals, with your values, is to take into account how your decision might affect others, then most definitely take that into account. But don't forget yourself. Don't ignore this inner flame. Don't ignore your own passions, wants, and desires, because doing so will result in what we spoke of at the beginning, a repressed or suppressed creative energy. So if you ever ask universe, for example, or your spirit guides, I am faced with choices and I'm not sure which one to choose. Can you please guide me to the best choice? And you start seeing signs and synchronicities, they could most likely be guiding you to choose that which you are the most passionate about, that which excites you or brings you joy. The very thing that maybe at some point you yourself said, oh, if I didn't have to consider all of these things, this is what I would go for. If I didn't have to worry about all of that, this is what I would have immediately decided upon or chosen. Yeah, because this is making me think of your core. This is your core speaking to you. And then we have the Seven of Cups with wishful thinking, endless possibilities, and fantasy. So the Seven of Cups speaks about options. Yeah. So some of you could often be faced with analysis paralysis kind of thing, or experience the paradox of choice, where you have so many options, or there's a lot of things that you do want to start working on or get involved in, because there's so many things that do excite you and interest you. And because there's so many, you might not know what to choose. You might not know where to begin, what to focus on, and so forth. And a couple things could happen as a result of that. Either you don't get started on any of them because it ends up being overwhelming, or you think to yourself like, there won't be enough time anyways, and so you just give them all up. Or you do start a couple at once, and then because maybe there's a lack of planning or a lack of time management, or you end up biting more than you can chew, it does end up becoming overwhelming. And instead of completing any one of them, you could end up just leaving them on the side. Or there's also something here about jumping from one thing to the other, and that could end up getting pretty messy if there is a lack of organization, right? But I mean, there's no right way to approach anything, right? Because maybe that's a system that works for you. Maybe it works for you to work at several things at once, jumping from one thing to the other. Maybe when you do plan for things or get super organized, it just doesn't work for you, right? But for others of you, it could be that organization and getting orderly or planning, or just focusing on one thing at a time, or just on a few things at a time, might be more helpful to you and might help with you completing these things or seeing them through and actually realizing a lot of your dreams, actually allowing for you to pursue a lot of your passions. Yeah, so with release, there's something here about maybe releasing notions of how things should be, or releasing this notion that because there's so many things you want to do, you can't do all of them, or you can't do any of them, because you're being let know that that isn't true. that maybe you won't be able to get them all done at once, but you can get some of them done maybe within the year if you start focusing on them now and make them a priority, right? Or if you maybe get a little bit organized or start planning. But if you have tried the whole organization, the whole planning thing in the past and it just didn't work for you, then you don't have to hold on to the idea that that's how it's supposed to be. Because like I said, maybe that's not what works for you. Because if you already know there's another system that works for you, then maybe that's the system that is meant for you, or just meant for you at this period in your life. But there's something here about if you need to make up your mind on what to focus on, what to choose, you're being advised to choose that which excites you the most, that which you would actually be eager to get started on right now, that which you can see yourself doing not only for this afternoon, if it is something that would involve a little bit more time, but something that you can see yourself doing for the upcoming days. And I'm noticing we do have this person writing, so a lot of you could benefit from journaling, just jotting down your thoughts, maybe doodling, scribbling. I know there's a lot of people who start bullet journals and they really get into being very detailed with it, but maybe for you guys what would help you is, yes, journaling, yet not in that very detailed and meticulous way. Maybe it's more like just jotting down your ideas, just like scribbling your thoughts, maybe even drawing stuff out. And that could help you with setting your mind on things, or with just planning for things, or getting a little bit organized. So for you, organization can look a little bit different. And this is your reminder that it doesn't have to look the same as it does to that of others' idea of getting organized. It's not a one-size-fits-all sort of thing. This is also making me think of study habits. I recall in college, I went through a few different methods of studying, and one of them was having meticulous notes, jotting down every single thing the professor said, and then typing it out, printing it out, having it in a binder. I was doing the whole highlighting thing and drawing beautiful illustrations that went with the information, labeling it, and so forth. And that was very helpful when studying for exams. It was very helpful for cramming. But then later, like my last year of university, I tried something different, which might be quite appalling to some people, because what I tried was writing on my textbooks, writing on my books. And I forgot about the whole taking meticulous notes sort of thing. So as I read along, I just either drew a figure that kind of reminded me of what I just read, or wrote down words that were key points of what I just read to remind me of the information. And this method was actually a lot more helpful, a lot more enjoyable, and it not only helped me retain the information, but actually understand it. That was the huge difference I saw between both of them. One of them was more about memorizing, retaining for the moment, and the other one was about helping me to understand what I was actually reading. And so one method might help one person in one way, and another method might help another person in another way. So it's more so about finding your own system, what works for you. If what works for you doesn't work for somebody else, or for the majority of people, that doesn't mean that what you're doing is wrong. Yeah, and I feel like with passion, you're being encouraged to look for systems and methods that get you excited, that help you stay excited and intrigued in what it is that you're doing. Because writing on the textbooks, writing on the books was, for some reason, very exciting for me. It felt like, maybe because it felt, of course I own these books, they were mine, but maybe because I felt that I was breaking some kind of rule, because I usually never write on my books, but also because I didn't feel pressured to do everything in a neat and concise kind of way, and that gave me more time to actually read the text and to really comprehend it and enjoy what I was reading. Okay, but now I'm just going to pull out some written messages from the note jar, and these could be like extra messages, advice, or guidance, or maybe a little more insight as to what these signs and synchronicities could be meaning for you. But if you do want to receive a direct message from a being of light, for example, a spirit guide of yours, maybe a guardian angel, or your higher self, or the higher self of someone else who is currently physically incarnated in this lifetime, then you can set the intention for that. Also, if you have a question in mind and you would like a direct answer to it, you can think of your question as I'm pulling out these messages, or if you have a situation you would like guidance on, the very same thing. Okay, And I will be placing them on the table in a way that you yourself can look at them, and then maybe if you want to, assign a question to each one of them before I reveal them to you. Or choose one if you want to receive a more personalized message. Because I will be pulling out a couple of them. There's one more. Oh, sorry. Let's see, there. Not this one, and not this one. So here we go. And I will start over here. Ooh. So this is a quote from the singer, songwriter, performer, Korean rapper Kim Han-bin, which goes, "The word happiness is too vague, but I hope you find life worth living every day." I feel like this is pretty much what some of your guides are trying to often convey to you. That you find something worth your time, worth your energy, worth your effort. Something that you enjoy. Or that you allow yourself to pursue it. And we also have another quote from the character Iroh in the animated series Avatar: The Last Airbender, which goes, "While it is best to believe in oneself, a little help from others can be a great blessing." So this is your reminder to not overwork yourself, not overdo it, maybe not bite more than you can chew. And that it's okay for you to receive help every now and then. No man is an island, right? Yeah, because oftentimes you could be the one providing help and assistance. And this is a reminder to you that although you're the one often assisting others, that doesn't mean that you cannot be assisted. It makes me think of a therapist. You know, there's this notion that a therapist does not need or should not get therapy. No, because they're still a human and they still go through things and have to process things. And they are still very much deserving of help and assistance or of being listened to. And them receiving help allows for them to be there for others as well. So we have another quote, and this is by Rumi, "With close both eyes to see with the other eyes." So this is speaking of the third eye. And actually this illustration in the passion card, the blue, purple, and red, was making me think of like an eye. So yeah, there could be a third eye activation, or this is more so making me think of sometimes you have to close both your physical eyes in order to go within and feel the answer. And we also have "I will wait for you." Go with this one. We also have "Showtime." Yeah, it's showtime. Some of you could be entertainers or performers. Lyricists, that's something I can do as well. We also have "Surrender." I just heard in my mind, "Surrender to your feels." Interesting. We have "Your next journey awaits." So for a lot of you, the signs you've been seeing could be hinting at that you are about to step into something new. Your next journey awaits, because you did get the journey card. And this journey would be one that is going to kind of encourage you or will provide you space in which you can allow for your passionate and even free-spirited side of you to come through, or to really embrace that side of you. Or you will be working with your creative energy quite a bit. And we have "Let's meet in the dream." Oh, so once again, if you have an animal guardian, an animal companion who is on the other side, you could be dreaming of them often. Maybe that's a sign for some of you. They're trying to communicate or reach out to you, or they're just letting you know that, hey, I'm still very much here. I'm still looking after you. I still love to come and see you from time to time. There's something here about even hearing them in your waking life. So, I don't know. I don't mean this to be spooky. It's not coming through in a spooky way, but let's say if your animal companion was a kitty and they love to scratch on sofa, and you could sometimes still hear that noise, like that scratching noise. Or you could just hear noises that remind you of them. And when you do, that's just a sign coming from them, letting you know, I'm here, I love you, I'm with you, and so forth. Yeah, but if it's not an animal companion, you could definitely be meeting somebody in the dreams. Someone could be popping up in your dreams quite often. And it could be someone that you feel quite passionate about, or that you have strong feelings for. Or someone that you might enter into this new journey with, or that you might meet along the way in this next chapter of your life. Oh, I also want to point out that the number 7 could be of significance. We do have 7 here, and then if we add up 3 and 4, we get 7. So either the number 7 or the month of July could be of significance. But these are all the messages that are coming through for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it brought some guidance, some clarity. If it did, then please leave a like or a comment. And if you are new to this channel and you want to stick around for more readings with me, Kim, then please do subscribe. I do offer personal readings. All the information is in my website, and the link to my website can be found in the description box down below. Thank you so much for watching until the very end, and a huge thank you to all of you who took the time to watch the advertisements or just let them run in the background, since that is the simplest way to support me and to support this channel. So if you did, I truly do appreciate it. And before I sign off, I want to give a thanks to my spirit team and your spirit team and your spirit animal or lovely animal guardian for assisting me with delivering these messages to you. And I'm wishing you and your loved ones a wonderful rest of your day or night, depending on when you are watching. And until the next moment, bye bye. Hello, if you chose the angel pin, or this could even be a cherub, bienvenidos to your reading. So the messages, it's a resounding yes, and we are hoping for you to see, as well as struck by moonlight came to mind when meditating on the energy of this group. And one interesting thing I experienced was I had my eyes closed when meditating, and I was facing forward, and I began to feel my head turning towards the left. And so I just went with it, and next thing I know, once I had opened my eyes, I was looking at or looking outside my bedroom window. So I don't know if any of you have experienced something along the lines of all of a sudden you find yourself looking in a certain direction, or you're maybe looking down, writing something or reading something, and then you find yourself looking up or looking outside the window, and then you snap out of it and you're like, what? What am I doing? I was reading this book, or I was writing down these notes, or something along those lines. Of course, that could be something that just happens, something that you do, but I do feel that this has something to do with these signs you've been seeing, or the synchronicities you have been experiencing. Maybe it's your intuition guiding you to look in a certain direction because in that direction some sign is about to pop up, or that's your inner being's way of letting you know to pay attention, something along those lines. And if you have been inquiring a yes or no question to the universe, and more specifically to angelic beings, it's very possible that the signs you've been seeing are telling you that the answer to your question is a resounding yes. And because it came through as a strong resounding yes, I strongly feel this would be pertaining to anything that you would have liked or do want a yes answer to, because there was excitement around this yes. Now, I'm not sure what struck by moonlight means, so I'm just gonna let it be. If it resonates with you, if by you any chance know what it means, then please take that as some kind of confirmation. But I am now going to move on to the cards. By the way, the angel pin does make me think of angel numbers, so maybe a lot of you have been seeing quite a few angel numbers, repeating number sequences. What came through in specific was the angel number 1212, as well as the number sequence 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. That we have number 2 with the sacral chakra and the message, the frequency of the sacral chakra, the orange flower of life, supports our ability to flow with our desires, and stimulates our creative power to manifest success and abundance in our life. And for whatever reason, as I was reading the message, again, the phrase, "it's a resounding yes," came to mind. And I kept hearing in my mind, "it's a yes, it's a yes, it's a yes, 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 yes." So maybe the signs you've been seeing are letting you know that yes, go for it, or yes, this is it. Or it could be hinting at you that there will be some kind of successful outcome, or there is some kind of success. But the word success in and of itself really, really stood out to me. So, the signs you've been seeing, the synchronicities that you have been experiencing are hinting at that. You are manifesting success, abundance, and it is because you are in this abundant mindset or abundant energy. You are attracting this into your life because that's the energy or the frequency you are vibrating at, per se. So some of you might have been working on healing, clearing, or opening up, activating your sacral chakra, which is the energy center that has to do with creative, sexual, passionate energy, as well as feminine energy. This is the energy center that also oftentimes is associated with emotions, since it is ruled by the element of water. So there's something here about empowerment, feeling or being empowered, being in your power. And the number 2 is making me think of the second house in astrology, which is the house of resources, finances, material possessions, as well as talents and skills. So one of the things that is coming through is your talents, your skills are the very things that are helping you create abundance in your life, or that are bringing forth opportunities for material wealth, or for maybe recognition. The word popularity also just came through. Yeah, so if you have been thinking about maybe starting a business around something creative, or based on a skill of yours, based on something that you yourself are quite passionate about, quite knowledgeable about as well, I feel like the signs you've been seeing are kind of encouraging you to go for it. The sacral chakra is making me think of self-employment, an independent or small business, freelancing, entrepreneurship. So if that is something you've been thinking about, something that you kind of been feeling inspired to look more into or actually get started on, yeah, the signs could be encouraging you to do so. They could be guiding you to do so. There's this feeling of being guided to something, kind of being given hints and clues on how to get started. Now I'm thinking of leaving breadcrumbs or leaving gumdrops, what came through in specific, as a way to create a trail or a map to help guide another. So maybe angelic beings or your spirit guides or members of your spirit team are at this moment working with you to guide you. They are indeed guiding you, providing you some kind of valuable information that will assist you on this journey to creating something or launching something perhaps. Some of you could be deciding to turn a hobby into a career, into a profession, a full-on occupation. There's something here about transitioning from part-time to full-time, or profiting from a skill that you possess, from your own talents, profiting from your creativity, or like I said, your knowledge, your passions, like your passion for a topic. Because let's say your passion for a topic could be the thing that is driving you to learn more about it and to get quite knowledgeable on it, maybe even to, in a way, master it. And this is the very thing that you could feel inspired to maybe do something with. Maybe start a course about it to teach others, maybe start a YouTube channel to inform others, to share your knowledge with others. That's just an example. It doesn't have to be your case. It could be something like, as mentioned, start your own brand, your own business, or maybe even create a product based on what you know. Or it could even be that a passion, something that you are interested in, is what is guiding you in a certain direction that will ultimately result in you starting something of your own, or you building upon something, expanding upon something. For whatever reason, I'm thinking of like things related to health, things related to spirituality, things related to also beauty. So, or holistic medicine. So some of you could be interested in that, or maybe you have been thinking about pursuing something in that, and you know, the signs you've been seeing are kind of hinting at you that yes, this is a good idea. Oh, and we have death. Death makes me think of rebirth. It makes me think of transformation. It is associated with the 8th house in astrology, which is associated with the zodiac sign Scorpio. So some of you could be a Scorpio sun, moon, or rising, or you could have Scorpio in your 2nd house. I was going to say, I felt very called to say, or you could have Scorpio in your sacral chakra, but that sounds strange. But you know, Scorpio is known to be quite in tune with sexual energy, or quite sexual or seductive. They don't shy away from that. Scorpio is known to be quite experimental and explorative. They don't shy away from topics that are often seen or perceived as taboo. They love to get into the psyche of others. They are quite interested in psychology, the esoteric, the occult. That's kind of what is typically known or stereotypically known of the zodiac sign Scorpio. So with death and sacral chakra, I feel like this is about self-expression. It's about unveiling yourself. That is how it's coming through. This is making me think of like dark feminine energy, or of a femme fatale type of vibe. So some of you could resonate with that, or maybe you are being encouraged to tap more into your inner feminine or your dark feminine energy. Maybe tap more into that sensual sexual side of you. And remember, sexual energy doesn't always have to do with like physical intimacy or the physical body. It could just represent creative energy, like allowing yourself to explore and to experiment with things, allowing for curiosity and intrigue. But for a lot of you, this could definitely be about you getting more comfortable with physical intimacy, or exploring more of that, or just getting comfortable with your own physical body. And I did speak about beauty, so a lot of you could be pursuing something in cosmetology or in beauty, or something related to health. And then we have mystery. Wow, more scorpionic energy with mystery, 8th house energy. So I wonder if also some of you could be pursuing or looking more into the occult, maybe the esoteric, maybe metaphysics. It seems like you're really tapping into that which is unseen. I'm getting like high priestess vibes from these 2 cards, as well as Hierophant vibes. So a lot of you could be pursuing something that is, I wouldn't say traditional, but more so that could be related to some kind of tradition, some kind of practice that's been carried on over generations. I'm thinking, for example, of shamanism. I'm thinking of witchcraft as well. Some of you could identify as witches, or you could really resonate with that. But I do see you picking up on some kind of practice, because there is this feeling with both of these cards of working with nature. And again, sacral chakra energy has to do with feminine energy. Feminine energy is often associated with Mother Gaia, nature. So a lot of you could be working with nature, working with plants, working with herbs. But I am also seeing something like getting comfortable with the unknown, with the unseen, even with death, with endings, with transformation, with change. That's a journey some of you are currently on, or maybe that's a journey that you are being let know that you will soon step into. Because these are all important when it comes to the cycles of life, when it comes to evolution, right? Growth as well. Death and mystery are also making me think of shadow work, of the dark night of the soul. So some of you could be experiencing that, or the signs you've been seeing could be hinting at that you are in the midst of a dark night of a soul. Or if you what you're going through, what you're experiencing is part of some kind of shadow work, is to assist you with getting more in touch with certain aspects of yourself that you've kept hidden or that you thought needed to be kept hidden. Because with mystery again and getting unveiling, I feel like this is a time in which you're being encouraged to come forth. It's like, I'm seeing, this might sound a bit weird, but what I'm seeing in my mind's eye is someone like unveiling themselves, literally shedding their clothes or shedding any layers that were being used as a sort of mask to keep themselves hidden or keep something of themselves hidden. Hecate just came through. Some of you could be connecting or working with Hecate, or the signs you've been seeing are coming from Hecate. I'm also getting Anubis, but I'm mostly getting like feminine archetypes, like female goddesses, deities. It could also be that the signs you've been seeing, synchronicities you have been experiencing, are kind of advising you to get more in touch with your inner feminine. We all have both feminine and masculine energies, right? So get connected with your sacral chakra. And there's something here about you realizing that the feminine is also multidimensional. The feminine is often seen or thought of as soft, as demure, and yes, the feminine is soft and demure, but the feminine can also be dark, can also be sensual, can also be powerful and magnetic. So I think with sacral chakra, you are expressing a new side of you, or the signs you've been seeing are telling you that it's okay to express this side of you. It's okay to allow this side of you to come through in maybe the way that you dress, in maybe the way that you present yourself to the world, in the way that you talk, through your interests, through what you do as a profession, as a career, or what your hobbies are. But I'm seeing magic. I feel a lot of you could be tapping into your inner magic, your inner magician or high priestess energy. You could be, like I said, getting into the occult or tapping more into your own psychic abilities, learning how to connect with spirit, how to connect with energy, cosmos, nature. There's a word that wants to come through, but I don't think I am familiar with it. I don't think I even know it. It's strange sometimes when giving readings, because there's times when things come through that I, as a reader, am not familiar with. And so I can't find the word for it, or I don't know the name for it. And so that's when I start rambling, trying to describe what it is that is coming through. But, oh, okay, maybe this might help. This has something to do with old magic, ancient traditions. Something, again, as mentioned before, that has been passed down in generations. Something maybe like a belief. Now I'm being reminded of Game of Thrones and how there were many legends. And a lot of these legends had to do with ancient traditions, ancient teachings, ancient beliefs. Yet they were still taught to newer generations because these beliefs were still upheld, or because they were of significance, they were still of relevance. They still held true. And while in Game of Thrones, a lot of the legends, we learned that they weren't legends. It was more like history, right? So yeah, there's something here about you connecting with, maybe mystery is about the mysteries of the world, the mysteries of the universe. You could be getting more into that, wanting to learn more about that, or this curiosity to know, to seek, to understand could be igniting in you. This could be some kind of awakening. The phrase sexual awakening also just came through. And again, sexual awakening doesn't necessarily have to do with physical intimacy. It could be more about this, like this hunger, this yearning to explore, to learn more, to know what is out there, maybe to challenge current beliefs, to express yourself a little bit more, to experiment. There's something here about challenging the norms. Some of you could be doing that with what it is that you're deciding to pursue, or what it is that you are creating. Because death just made me think of the death of an era. Like, we're entering into a new era. So that could also be what the signs are hinting at you, that you're entering into a new era It's not even a phase, it's literally an era. I'm now thinking of an onion. And so you peel back the layers of an onion until you get to, and so it's like you're peeling back some layers to unveil new layers. And so this new era, it's like a new layer that you're getting to know, like a new layer of yourself. And we have the Tower with upheaval, destruction, and catastrophic. So the Tower can also signify endings. So it seems like there is an ending, but I feel like this ending has more to do with, as mentioned, the ending of an era. Maybe the ending of a cycle. It's strange to say, but it sort of feels like letting go of an old version of you. It feels strange to say because you never stop being you. So letting go of an old version of you sounds, at least to me, it sounds a bit weird. So this could be more like you're transforming, you're evolving. And so with the Tower, what is falling apart could be old belief systems that do no longer resonate with this newer version of you, with this more evolved version of you per se. And I do say this because, as you can see in this illustration, we have the Tower here that is struck by lightning. And for me, this lightning represents divine intervention, divine orchestration. It can also indicate divine timing. Like this was meant to be, this was planned, or this had to come to pass. And then we have this that separates this person from this Tower. So this separation here is keeping this person safe because it is creating distance between this person and this Tower. So it seems like you are watching something fall apart, something that you no longer connect with, no longer resonate with, something that is of your past or belongs in your past. And so this could be belief systems, these could be tendencies and or habits, but it could also be anything that was keeping you from evolving, anything that was keeping you from growing, anything that was inhibiting you in some way. What I heard in my mind was the falling of pretenses. So for some, that could be what you are experiencing. Anything that you thought you had to uphold or you had to continue pretending at, that's what's falling apart. And so for a lot of you, the signs you've been seeing, the synchronicities you have been experiencing are hinting at that maybe it's time to let go of something, or that you are in the breast of some kind of transformation or transition. There is going to be some kind of ending because you are coming to the end of a cycle. You are coming to the end of an era. And the mystery card is making me think of the unknown. So this is making me think of entering something new, because oftentimes the new is an unknown to us. The Tower's also giving me a bit of a rebellious vibe. So you could be feeling a bit like a rebel, or you could be feeling like rebelling against things that keep you down, hold you down, or you feel are like shackles is how it's coming through. And we have the Ace of Wands in the reversal with fearing change, unmotivated, and restlessness. And the Ace of Wands is associated with the element of fire. And so that would be Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries. So some of you could be a fire, sun, moon, or rising sign. Although with the Ace of Wands in the reverse, I feel it's more likely that you might be a water sign or even an earth sign, because the illustration in the Death card is making me think of Capricorn. Yeah, but you don't have to be any of these signs for the messages to apply. That is if they are resonating with you. But with the Ace of Wands, I think the signs are kind of advising you to surrender to this and to not resist it. Because with fearing change, look, here we have fearing change with the Ace of Wands in the reversal, which is the same message that would have come up if the Tower card had fallen out in the reversal, fear of change, right? So this Tower needs to fall. This Tower wouldn't fall if it didn't need to fall. So if it's falling, it's for a reason. And usually it's to liberate you. It's to assist with your growth. help you achieve some kind of breakthrough. It's for your health, it's for your benefit. And so with the Ace of Wands in the reverse, you are being advised to not go back, is how it's coming through. Like if you feel this need for change, or if you feel like it's time to, there's this feeling of come out, or it's time to explore new things, reveal a new side of you, it's for a reason. It's because it is indeed time, and because this is what needs to happen in order for you to experience that growth. We often use this analogy, but it literally feels like the snake needs to shed its skin in order to grow. If it didn't, the snake would end up being stifled. So there's something here about liberating yourself. And if there is restlessness, this is similar to the messages coming up for another group, because there was something about if they do start feeling restlessness, it could be because they are repressing or suppressing their passionate side. And in that reading, I also spoke of the sacral chakra. So I forgot which reading it was. I think it was for the cat pin. If you chose more than one group and you end up listening to that reading as well, then it seems like this is the theme for you. This is the message for you. Because when we repress, when we suppress our creativity, our passion, that's when we start becoming or getting restless. And the Ace of Wands is all about passion. It's all about inspiration, instigation, new passionate beginning. So there is a new passionate beginning here. But I think the signs are letting you know, do not fear this, right? Because if this is something new, this passionate energy, this passionate side of yours, it could feel a little overwhelming at first, but it's nothing to be afraid of. Especially if you give yourself the time and the grace to get acquainted with it, so that then you can better understand how you can channel it in a constructive way, how you can work with it, what you can make out of it. Because remember, this passionate sacral chakra energy is creative energy. Let me see what else is coming through. Okay, so I'm not sure how this card wanted to fall out. So we have the King of Swords in the reversal with manipulative, abusive, and controlling. Interesting. So the King of Swords is an air sign, so that would be Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini. So with the King of Swords in the reversal, this is making me think of not controlling this situation, but rather surrendering to it, or not allowing for this energy here to control you. Because the King of Swords is making me think of coping mechanisms. It's also making me think of losing your head in a situation, getting carried away by your feelings or your emotions, or possibly even by the ego. So I think, especially with this number 2, if you have been seeing a lot of like 222 repeated 2s, or the number 2, or anything coming in 2s and pairs, even twins just came to mind, the word twin or twins. It could be that this is indicating to you balance, duality, harmony. It's indicating both the masculine and the feminine, healthy masculine, healthy feminine. So if something is becoming way too consuming, then that's when you need to step back from it. It's making me think of a fire. Instead of adding more fuel to the fire once it's starting to rage, that's when it's time to start managing that fire. So yeah, if you start seeing like the number 2 or anything that might to you indicate balance, harmony, moderation, then this is a sign for you to either slow down, take a step back, or it could be kind of like a warning to you in a way, a heads up that this is getting too out of hand, or you're getting carried away by this, or it's becoming too much. Because the word obsessive keeps coming to mind. Yeah, so a lot of you could definitely be, if you haven't recently been healing your sacral chakra, you could be currently healing this energy center of yours. Because the sacral chakra, when it's out of balance, it could talk about like obsessions, addictions, or just an intensity. And so if you are on a journey, like on a healing journey, on a recovery journey from maybe an addiction or some kind of tendency. Yeah, as mentioned, these are the things that you are letting go of, you're working to let go of. But if it's not addictions, it could just be habits that haven't been serving you, that have kept you stuck, or have made you feel like you were at a loss of control in some way. Like you didn't have a good management of yourself, of your life. Like that is leaving. And with the Ace of Wands is letting you know you don't have to go back to that. You don't have to go back to that. And whatever you thought had power over you, you're coming to learn that it doesn't have this power over you, or it no longer has to have this power over you. And the surrendering was more about surrendering to the healing. Maybe even surrendering to being helped by specialist professionals, or being helped by spirit, by angelic presence if you believe in them. For some of you, with the King of Swords in the reversal and the Ace of Wands in the reversal, this could be speaking about the ending of a codependent relationship or connection, or of an unhealthy relationship. Yeah, because with the Tower, I do see some kind of pattern ending. Again, something that was unstable, or something that kept falling apart. It's making me think of a recipe that you kept abiding by, but every time you applied it, it just wasn't working. And so instead of going with this recipe again, you're deciding to just leave it and create a new recipe based on what you have learned, based on what feels more right to you, more in alignment with this current newer version of you. But with Death and Mystery, I do see something along the lines of finding balance in something. So it feels like something you thought was scary, or something that felt scary in the past or felt unmanageable. You're now starting to manage it better. Now you're realizing that it's actually not that scary. It was only scary because it felt out of control. But now, because you have a good manage over it, have a maybe better understanding of it, it's not scary at all. And you can actually live with it, or you can actually work with it. You can actually create something with it or from it. I keep hearing, or I just heard, let us help you. So for some of you, could be that the answer you seek, or what will help you if you currently feel a bit confused, or if there's something that is kind of scary in your life because it feels out of control, would be to actually address this, face it head on. Because with Death and Mystery, there's this feeling of confronting something, not running away from it. Like, because even this person in the Tower card, like, they're directly facing the tower. They're looking at this scene of the tower falling apart. So it's like the only way to the other side is through it, right? So let's not run away. Let's not turn away from this. Let's face it head on. There's this feeling of, let's give it a name to remove the mystery from it. Because it's most likely that it is the mystery, it is not knowing what it is, not understanding it, that is making it scarier. But if we actually reveal it, we'll find that, it's nothing, or it's not scary, or I can work through this, or I can let go of this, or I can integrate this. Because like I said, a lot of you could be going through a dark night of the soul, or could be doing shadow work. And, that kind of work, inner work, is aimed to help in one coming to face with what we believe to be our inner demons, or what we perceive to be our shadow, which will be things that maybe we're not comfortable with, we have been trying to hide, repress. And I feel like that's the things that you are bringing to the surface, unveiling to yourself. It doesn't have to be to others, right? This could be something very private, maybe something that you are working with a specialist, maybe, for example, like a therapist, or maybe a friend, someone that you can confide in. But it doesn't have to be something that you have to share with others, or others have to know of, unless it's necessary, unless it will help you. Because I'm thinking of like having a support system, a support group as you're working through something. So that could be the case for some of you. But there's this feeling of understanding your psyche, understanding yourself a little bit better. But it's through you not running away from you, not running away from that which is scary, that might come up, that you might think is scary. So I felt called to pull out one more tarot card, and this is the one that flipped over. So we have the Ace of Cups with new relationships, pure intentions, and joy. Yeah, I feel like you're kind of releasing, right? You're kind of doing this unveiling, You're letting go so that you can embrace this newer energy. The Ace of Cups is making me think of purification, something that is now come back to its essence, pure state. The Ace of Cups can speak of unconditional love, can speak of self-love, but it can also speak about new love, new relationships. So yeah, like I said, some of you could actually be coming out of a relationship, or a relationship could be coming to an end, or maybe that's what the signs have been hinting at, that there is a relationship that you're currently in that isn't healthy, that maybe you would benefit from moving on from, or there is someone in your life that maybe would help if you created some distance between you and them. And this would be for your mental health, especially for your emotional well-being with the Ace of Cups. Yeah, because this Ace of Cups could be hinting at that in you moving on from these unhealthy relationships or dynamics, you will be stepping into a new healthy relationships, a new healthy relationship or relationships, as well as building new healthier relationship dynamics. Because something that was coming through was like codependency. So it's like letting go of that codependent tendency and then stepping into this Ace of Cups energy. And the Ace of Cups is making me think of freedom. Like, for example, knowing that a partner is reliable and being able to rely on them, but not feeling this need to be reliant on them. Because you know you can also rely on yourself. You are self-reliable. You are not dependent on this person to provide you love or to fill your cup, because by this point you can fill your own cup, or your own cup is already full. But the Ace of Cups is making me think of like something that was hidden and now it's being unveiled. The Ace of Cups is the after the unveiling. Like, this is you after the layers have been shed, after the mask has been removed, after whatever that was inhibiting you or that was not allowing for you to fully shine is by this point has been released. So the Ace of Cups is more about coming into self-acceptance, right? Some kind of self-acceptance, accepting yourself in all of your colors, in all of your facets. You're a gemstone, right? You're not two-dimensional. You're a gemstone with many various facets, and each one of them is beautiful, and each one of them deserves to be held up to the light so that it can emit its beautiful color and maybe even rainbow. So I think the Ace of Cups is also expressing how what you're doing right now, or maybe what you're being guided to, is to embrace what you might perceive as your dark side, your shadow side, as well as your light side. Both of them are beautiful. Both of them are valuable. And whenever I heard readings and I heard a reader say, embrace your dark side or your shadow side, I didn't understand that because I thought, why would I want to do that? That's so scary. I wouldn't want to embrace that. But I think the dark side, the shadow side, it's more so talking about like understanding that you are a complex human being. You are a complex entity. Like I said, you are multifaceted. You're not one or two dimensional. It's not black and white. It's not good or bad. There's things that as humans we're still figuring out, especially figuring out about ourselves. So if you don't have yourself figured all out right now or later on, that doesn't mean that you're doing something wrong. That means that you're just living your life and unfolding and growing and transforming, because it's not about having yourself all figured out. At least I don't perceive it that way, but it's more about giving yourself the opportunity to come to get to know yourself more and more and more as you grow, as you evolve, and allowing yourself that change, that opportunity to actually evolve. Learn from the past, learn from your so perceived mistakes, learn from maybe your fears, your insecurities, what brings you joy, everything. So I think this is about embracing yourself, giving love to yourself, especially giving love to these areas that haven't received love, haven't received light for a while, because both of these cards are in the darkness, shining light into them by acknowledging them, addressing them. Okay, but interesting messages. But mostly here I'm getting transformation, transitions, endings, evolution, growth. So I feel like that's what the signs and synchronicities have been hinting at you. And even spirals. Spirals could be of importance. Spirals making me think of going within. Also makes me think of connecting with cosmic energy, creative energy. If it helps you to express yourself through a creative outlet, I feel like you're being encouraged to do so, or you will end up doing so. And you might even find some kind of new passion through this. Like, for example, you decide to start journaling. in order to process certain emotions or to vent, you could find that you actually enjoy writing, or you actually like writing prose or poetry, or you're quite good at it. If it's something like dancing, you could find that you really love dancing. This could become a new passion of yours. I'm also seeing something like chanting, singing. There's also something here about spell work, incantation, affirmations, meditation, or painting, drawing, carving, pottery, ceramics, herbology, horticulture, or homeopathy. There's a lot of different things coming through here, but I do see you finding some creative outlet, or you realizing you have a skill in a creative art, creative form, in a craft. Yeah, you could be getting into some kind of craft or getting better at a craft through this. Okay, but now I'm going to, let's see, anything I want to point out. I did mention Hecate. We do have the moon phases here. Some of you could feel a strong pull to the moon, the phases of the moon, working with the moon. I just heard new moon energy. I feel like that's kind of what you're stepping into, new moon energy, like newness, a rebirth. Flowers, especially like dried flowers, could be of significance. It's also like dried herbs. Like I said, you could work with herbs, plants to create things, create remedies, for example. I did speak of the number 2, the color orange. Stags, deers, reindeers could be of importance, important animals, spirit animals, animal totems. And I'm hearing there's something about a swamp or willow trees. They could be of significance as well. Some of you could feel a strong connection to water during this time. And that in itself could be a sign that you are working with or connecting more with your sacral chakra or healing this energy center of yours. Water helps you cleanse. It can also help you channel messages, channel energy, or amplify energy. But it definitely helps with cleansing your energy field. So if your energy is ever feeling funky, consider taking a shower or a bath. You can add Epsom salt to your bath, but you don't have to. Simply just allowing yourself to be in water is going to be very, very healing, very soothing, and helpful. And maybe some of the signs are hinting at you to connect more with the element of water, maybe even to hydrate yourself a little bit more, drink more water. Remember, you can also imbue your water with certain energies, certain affirmations. So if you feel called to do that, you are being advised to do so. Yeah, a lot of you could definitely get into like incantations, spell works, magic. Okay, but now I'm going to pull out some pre-written messages to get any last messages, advice, and or guidance for you. But if you'd like to receive a direct message from a being of light, for example, a spirit guide, a guardian angel, or the higher self, your higher self, or the higher self of someone who is currently physically incarnated in this lifetime, then you can do so. Also, if you have a question in mind that you would like a direct answer to, you can think of your question, or if there is a situation you would like direct guidance on, you can think of your situation as I'm pulling out these pre-written messages. Oh, and what just came through is you are protected. Know that you are protected during this time. You are definitely protected. You have beings of light working with you. They are guiding you, as mentioned before. So you are protected. I feel you guys are definitely protected by angels. Guardian angels, archangels, angelic beings. You have strong, powerful beings of light on your side. I don't feel like these. Okay, that one, sure. And I think anything here. So if you'd like, take a moment to meditate on these, maybe assign a question to each one of these or some of them, or even choose one or a couple of these to get a more personalized message. Okay, there's more light now. Okay, but I will start over here. So we have I promise. Interesting. I feel like this is more so like confirmation of what I was mentioning before. Like, I promise that you are protected. I promise that you are safe. You are safe. You are safe. You are protected. I promise that I'm right here with you. So this could be coming from like a spirit guide of yours or like a divine protector of yours. But, you know, this could also be coming from the higher self of somebody else. Or maybe even your higher self. We also have, I feel you, I hear you, I see you. Oh, I feel this one is very relevant to this reading. We have a quote by Osho. Be, don't try to become. And you're allowing yourself to be. We also have yesterdays and tomorrows do not exist in the now, only the present does. I also see you being in a more free-spirited energy, or that's what you're entering into. If things feel scary right now, I feel like these signs, synchronicities are letting you know that things won't always feel this way. They won't. Because you are entering into an era or time in which you are going to feel liberated, you're going to feel free, be free-spirited, and have the means to maybe explore the world, to travel, or to try a lot of the things that you've always wanted to try out. We also have the quote, if I love myself, I love you. If I love you, I love myself, by Rumi. Yeah, so I feel like this is about loving yourself, just accepting yourself. Or just embracing different aspects of yourself, acknowledging them. We also have a quote from the character Arrow from the animated series Avatar: The Last Airbender. While it is best to believe in oneself, a little help from others can be a great blessing. So there's no need to isolate yourself, is what is coming through. Sometimes being with others can be of great help. But we have music is the language of the universe. Music is the language of my soul. So a lot of you could be musicians, or you could feel like music is a kind of conduit, or is what helps you to connect with universal energy, or with your inner guidance, inner spirit, or with your spirit team. Or music, like playing music, writing music, listening to music, could be some kind of creative outlet of yours that you will be exploring. But we also have not yet. We also have showtime. Wow, yes. So you have not yet and yes. Interesting. Maybe you had two different questions in mind. But we have open your heart, and when you do, think of me. Interesting. Let's see. And lastly, we have I'll be there. Okay, so these are all the messages that are coming through for you guys. Yep. If you enjoyed this reading, if the messages were of some assistance to you, then please leave a like or a comment. And if you are new to this channel and you want to stick around for more readings with me, Kim, then please do subscribe. I do offer personal readings. All the information is in my website, and the link to my website can be found in the description box down below. To all of you who took the time to watch the advertisements or just let them play in the background, thank you so much for that, since that is the simplest way to support me and to support this channel. So if you did, I truly do appreciate it. And before I sign off, I want to give a thanks to my spirit team and your spirit team for assisting me with delivering these messages to you. And I'm wishing you and your loved ones a wonderful rest of your day or night, depending on when you are watching. And until the next moment, bye-bye. Hello, if you chose the tiny shell, bienvenidos to your reading. So the message, strong conviction, came to mind when meditating on the energy of this group. And for whatever reason, the shell just made me think of some cosmic force, some cosmic entity or cosmic energy. I'm not sure why. So maybe a lot of the signs you have been seeing, synchronicities you have been experiencing, are directly coming from the cosmos. I know that sounds a bit silly, but that's how it's coming through. The phrase divine orchestration just came to mind. Oh, I just thought of a quote that's from the animated series Adventure Time, and it's said by Finn, which goes, "It's no coincidence I merged my intention with the universe." Yeah, so a lot of you could feel this strong connection with the cosmos, with the universe, or you have merged your intention with the universe. Maybe you have recently asked the universe for something, yeah, and they are responding to you. They are communicating with you via these signs, via these synchronicities. Also, it could just be that you yourself have a strong connection with the cosmos, cosmic energy. You could have this belief, or strongly believe, that we are all indeed connected, that we are all part of Source, that there is indeed no separation. Separation is just an illusion. But the seashell's also making me think of intuition. So you guys have a strong intuition, strong inner guidance. I feel like when you get a gut feeling about things, you don't really question it. But with strong conviction, I think there's something that you might want to continue pursuing, something that you don't want to give up on. Maybe this is the very thing that you have been inquiring to the universe about, whether you are in the right to keep pursuing this or to not give up on this. But let us see. Now I'm going to pull out some cards. I also feel like the universe loves your drive. They admire your strength, your will. Interesting. And we have number 26 with empowerment, and the message: the frequency of empowerment supports our ability to show up fully and completely, uniting us with others in the deep trust that we are all that we are all connected through the same source. Okay, so I don't know if this is pretty much reiterating what came through at the beginning before pulling out this card, but I did mention how some of you could feel like, or strongly believe, that we are all connected, that we are all part of the same source. And with empowerment, yeah, it seems like more than trying to signal something out to you, these signs and synchronicities are instead just celebrating you. They're celebrating you and how you're moving about this reality, this plane of existence on this planet. The number 26 is really standing out to me. You could have been born on the 26th of a month, and actually the seashell is making me think of the month of June. We do have the number 6 here. June is the 6th month of the year, so you could be a Cancer or Gemini sun, or a water sign with the seashell. The number 2 makes me think of February, so February, June could be of significance. Or you could have been born on the 2nd, the 6th of a month, or on the 8th, because if we add 2 and 6, we get 8. So in that case, August could also be of significance, or these could be your life path numbers. But these numbers are really standing out to me because the number 2 often indicates duality, and it can also indicate partnership and balance. And the number 6 can indicate balance as well as unconditional love and support and reciprocity. So it seems like there's something here about working with others, working together with others, or working with the cosmos, working with the universe, co-creating with the universe. But I do feel like currently you are in your power. You are embracing who you are. You could be helping others. You could be helping to empower others. You could be reminding others that they are not alone, that they are part of a beautiful, great design, or inadvertently through your actions, through the way that you show up in your day-to-day, through what you do, maybe as a career, as a profession or occupation, or as a creative outlet. You could be reminding others that they are part of this great design, that they are not alone. You could be empowering them in some way. But I definitely see you being or coming into your power, recognizing your value, your self-worth, feeling at ease, and most importantly, with all this blue here, feeling at peace with yourself. The color blue or cerulean could be of significance for a lot of you. These shapes here are making me think of pincers, which are reminding me of crabs, which is reminding me of Cancer, Cancerian energy. So yeah, some of you could be a Cancer sun, moon, rising, could have Cancer in your 2nd, 6th, or even 4th house or 8th house, which is the house of transformation. Yeah, so some of you could be going through some kind of transformation. I just feel like the signs you've been seeing are either encouraging you to step into your power, feel empowered, to feel proud of yourself even, recognize your value, your worth, recognize that you do play an important role in this reality, in the creation of something beautiful, or that you are of assistance, you do help, or what you do does assist, does help others, maybe a community, maybe a cause. But it could also be that the signs you've been seeing are kind of applauding you and they're kind of encouraging you to keep going. So with empowerment, definitely, if you have been wondering whether you should continue with something and you've been seeing signs, these signs are telling you that if this is something that empowers you, if this is something that uplifts you, if this is something that you want to continue doing, then continue with it. It's okay to continue with it. Keep pursuing it. Keep pursuing it. But I'm going to pull out more cards. This blue here is very beautiful. I'm getting such a very peaceful vibe. The word melodious just came to mind. Some of you could be learning how to communicate in a way that empowers or is empowering to you or is empowering to others in a way that is honest. And the word simplistic also came to mind. Simplistic doesn't mean that your way of communication cannot be poetic or magical or insightful. It can. It's more so that it can be understood by many. Or maybe this is something about you having the ability to break a very complex idea into something that is more easier to understand in a more simplistic way, which takes a lot of, I think, intelligence, a lot of know-how to do that, to break something that is quite complex or complicated, intricate, in a way that is understandable or easy to understand. And I feel like you can do that, or you're learning how to do that, or you soon will be able to do that. So for some, communication seems to be quite important. Maybe your line of work or what you're being guided to has something to do with communication, speaking up. But with empowerment, I feel like this is also indicating that you have a very powerful voice. Maybe the signs you've been seeing are trying to get you to realize that you have a very powerful voice. What you say matters. I also see something about healing the throat chakra, or just getting more comfortable with speaking, with communicating, and speaking from an honest, sincere space. Not shying away from the uncomfortable. Some of you could be getting comfortable with speaking about topics that might be often seen as or perceived as taboo, or could be uncomfortable to some. But how you're speaking about these topics, addressing them, bringing them up, it's in such a sophisticated and mindful way. I just get the feeling that you're being drawn or called to your voice. I'm now thinking of the Little Mermaid. To communication, to speaking, or if it's not speaking, though I do feel it has to do with the voice, it could be communicating via writing, other forms of communication, maybe even through arts. You can communicate something visually, but communication is coming up for you because via communication, you help to bring forth healing, or you help others or guide others onto a healing journey, or to heal themselves. Okay, but we have blossom. So this just makes me think of a blossoming with empowerment. You're definitely going through some kind of blossoming. The blossom is making me think of Empress energy. Yeah, you're standing more in your power. And the expression feeling more like yourself just came through. So maybe it's been a while that you have felt like yourself. Maybe that might resonate with some of you. And so you're being let known that whatever you're doing, it's aiding in you coming back to yourself. Coming back home is the expression that just came to mind. You're flourishing beautifully. I feel like the universe wants for you to know that. And actually this silhouette here is making me think of an astral body. Some of you could astral project, astral travel quite a bit, or this could be referring to your soul, your essence. You have a beautiful essence. Again, it's making me think of a cosmic being. I think you're coming to understand, really comprehend, really grasp the notion, the idea that you are a cosmic being. And that this is one reality. This is only one timeline. You can create multiple timelines. You can shift timelines. You yourself can create your own reality. And we have passage. I think there's a show or a character called Blossom. I don't know. They just came through randomly. That could be of significance. I think it's like a growing of age series. Yeah, and that's kind of the vibe I'm getting here. Like a growing of age energy, like growing into yourself. Are you growing into this beautiful, empowered individual? But with passage, this is again making me think of like astral traveling, astral projecting. It's making me think of dimensions because the illustration here sort of reminds me of a portal. So I think a lot of you are learning to maybe shift timelines or create new realities, or you're just learning that you can do that. And you're maybe getting better at it. Oh, this is making me think of a bridge. You could also be creating this bridge or realizing that there is a bridge between you and the cosmos, between you and the divine, between you and source. There is a bridge that is connecting you and everyone else, right? It's like you're always connected. So you can connect with somebody who is at a distance from you, who is at a physical distance from you. You can connect with someone who is on another plane of existence, someone who has passed on. I did mention something about separation being an illusion. So I feel like a lot of you are grasping that concept and you're really working with it. Passage is making me think of mediumship. Some of you could be exploring mediumship, learning that you do have that ability or it comes naturally to you. I do see something like channeling messages from the divine, directly from cosmic source energy. There's even something about trans-channeling. Some of you could have an innate ability for that. But passage is also reminding me of the phrase rite of passage. I don't know if you've ever heard of the concept of Earth being a school in which we come or incarnate into to learn lessons, to evolve as souls, as beings, or just retain more information. If you resonate with that concept, the vibe I'm getting here with passages of having learned a lesson, kind of leveling up in a way. Yeah, so some of the signs you've been seeing could be hinting at that you have learned a lesson or that you are evolving, you are growing. But I mostly feel that the signs you've been seeing, synchronicities you have experienced, I feel like you guys experience a lot of synchronicities. Signs and synchronicities could be your norm. But if you have, it's just your reminder of your connection to source, to spirit, to the cosmos. It's just your constant reminder that there is this bridge, that you are connected, that you are part of source. Yeah, and the rainbow is making me think of embracing all aspects of yourself. I feel like you've done that or you're doing that, you're getting there. Or this is just your reminder that you will get there because future you has gotten there, right? So you're bound to get there. You're doing it. Oh, I find myself resorting back to this deck, so I'm just gonna go with it. See what else. Oh, wow, 2 cards. Well, so we have the world, another rainbow. So rainbows could be of significance, but we have this rainbow arching over planet Earth. Again, this makes me think of a connection with all that is, realizing maybe that we're not the only ones in this universe. Some of you could resonate with the label or title or name Starseed. Though I feel like for this group, you might not be so into labels. You could find them a bit restrictive or just confusing. But definitely rainbows could be an important sign for a lot of you. This could also be speaking about like the LGBTQ plus community, of diversity, inclusiveness, inclusivity. But we have vulnerability here. I feel you guys, you help to empower others, or you will help to empower others. You create a safe space in which people can feel empowered by their vulnerability, through being vulnerable, through opening up, through being caring and loving and sharing, through being accepting or understanding, or through assisting, through helping others. That's something that I feel in your actions, in your day-to-day, in your lifestyle, you're kind of maybe inadvertently promoting, or you're just kind of showing that it does exist, that it is possible. This doesn't mean that you have to live your life in any sort of kind of way. I feel like how you feel inspired to live your life will end up inspiring these feelings or these notions in others. Like that there is beauty out there, that it's okay to be vulnerable, that people are multifaceted, and that we are all one. Okay, but now I'm going to pull out some tarot cards. With Blossom, there's something here about allowing others to grow, be themselves. Maybe this is what you are allowing yourself. And this is what the signs and synchronicities are kind of encouraging. With the World, this is making me think of exposure. So you could be getting hints that soon you will be gaining some kind of positive exposure, or you will be reaching a wider audience. Some of you could be connecting with a lot of people from different parts of the world via social media, via the internet, social platforms. Or you could be working with people from different parts of the world. Okay. And we have the Lovers. Wow. In the upright, with kindred spirits, desire, and connection. I said wow because the Lovers make me think of the number 26, because 2 made me think of the Two of Cups in Tarot, which speaks of partnerships and romantic relationships. And the Lovers is the 6th major arcana of the deck. So there seems to be strong connections afoot here. You establishing very important, meaningful connections with people. And the signs are hinting at that. And there could be one significant relationship. This could be a romantic relationship, a romantic union. Because the Lovers is making me think of, especially with all of these cards, of a soul connection, a spiritual connection. So either some of you are already in a committed relationship with someone who you have a soul spiritual connection to, especially some psychic connection with the Lovers card, because this is Gemini. And this card makes me think of like telepathy. But if not, the signs you've been seeing are hinting at that very soon you will be entering into a romantic partnership with someone who you have a soul connection to. And again, the Lovers makes me think of communication with Gemini. This is a partnership, a relationship in which you will be able to communicate openly and freely with your partner. And with empowerment, this is a relationship that came from you and this person feeling and being in your power, or feeling empowered. And this is a relationship in which you and your partner will empower each other. It's an empowering, now I'm making me think of like a power couple dynamic. It could also be that your partnership inspires other or empowers others, that sort of thing. Yeah, and there's, with empowerment, with this message, there's definitely some strong connection here. Your energies really match. Like you have the same energy frequencies when you come into union, because there's this feeling of you, with this rainbow bridge, it's like you connected. Maybe you are from different parts of the world, but you were able to connect because, again, separation is an illusion, and because your energies match, right? You were able to know of each other's existence, even if you didn't know one another or hadn't seen each other, because you felt each other's energy, because you felt each other's presence, because you called. There's this feeling of calling one to the other, or calling to each other. And it's interesting how in the Blossom card, it seems like, there's just a silhouette. Like, it makes me think a photo that had somebody cropped out of it. And so it's like someone is missing here. And I feel like that someone is about to appear. So maybe this is about you have been feeling the presence of someone and you wonder whether this presence was that of someone who was physically incarnated in this lifetime or of someone who you were going to meet at some point in your life. And this is your confirmation that yes, and that you're about to meet them. You're about to come into union with them, or that they are about to step into your reality. That's what some of the signs you've been seeing could have been hinting at. The messages coming through here are similar to messages that came up for another group. I think it was for, I can't recall, yet what came through is the Lovers is associated with twins. So the word twin or twins could be of significance, could be an important sign. Especially because we have like 2 rainbows here. So we have the Emperor, well, with dependability, authority, and structure. And the Emperor is associated with the zodiac sign Aries. So you could definitely be attracting an Emperor into your life. But I also feel with empowerment that maybe you are stepping into your Emperor era. Like stepping into your authority, being more assertive, being more sure of yourself. This is also making me think of feeling reliant on yourself, feeling like you can trust yourself, knowing that you can trust in yourself because you will do right by you, or that you can trust that you will do your best to do right by you. And the Emperor is also making me think of someone who keeps promises to themselves. So either you are attracting someone who definitely keeps the promises that they make to you and that they make to themselves, and or you are now starting to keep to your own promises that you make to yourself. And this is resulting in you building self-trust. The Emperor is also making me think of you feeling stable in your life, or having found stability in your life, having created stability in your life, having some kind of structure. So if you have been lacking that, or you feel like you need that, I feel like the signs are kind of hinting at that. Maybe you should start working on that, because that will definitely help you. Maybe like structure, organization, discipline, that sort of thing, as well as consistency, commitment. But the Emperor is also making me think of like success with the business, you yourself feeling successful, you yourself doing well, especially financially. And then we have the Ace of Swords in the upright with new ideas, breakthroughs, and realizing the truth. So aces speak of new beginnings. And this is associated with the element of air. So air signs, that will be Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius. So there is definitely some kind of new beginning here. And what I'm seeing in specific is new forms of communication or new contact, new communication. So definitely for a lot of you, the signs you've been seeing have been hinting at that you are about to establish communication with either this Emperor or someone who you will possibly most likely enter into some kind of romantic relationship with, or who you do have a spiritual connection to. But this also makes me think of communication between you and another, or between you and the universe evolving. And I was talking a lot about communication at the start. So it does seem like your communication is definitely improving, or you're getting more confident with your communication. Or like I said, a lot of you may be channeling messages, or the way that you channel messages could be, I wouldn't say improving, but it will be transforming in some way. But this does make me think of direct communication. So some of you could be working with a deity or an entity to deliver certain messages. But this also makes me think of like directly communicating or connecting with your higher self. I always think of this statue as representing the higher self of one, and this human here as representing the 3D self. So this once again makes me think of connecting with your inner knowing, your inner guidance, your own intuition. Channeling from the heart space, channeling from source directly, also being honest in your communication. And the Ace of Swords also makes me think that the signs you are receiving are getting clearer. They're less cryptic now. They're more clear to you. You can decipher them right away, or they don't even need deciphering now. Some of you could experience claircognizance, and actually because we have these rainbows, you could experience more than one clair or all of the clairs. So there's claircognizance, clairaudience, clairvoyance, clairsentience, clairgustance, clairsalience, and I'm not sure if there's more, but yeah, you could definitely have, I think we all have the clairs, but not all of us are in tune with it or open to them or have them activated perhaps, but it seems like soon you will, especially claircognizance. I'm seeing something like claircognizance and clairaudience. So knowing things, having this knowing about things, also hearing messages either in your mind or hearing them with your physical ears. And the Ace of Swords is speaking about clarity. Things will become clear. You will be getting clear answers. And with the Emperor, I was speaking about assertion, and the Ace of Swords can often indicate the same thing. So I see you being quite assertive when it comes to your decision making. And it could be because you are now trusting in yourself a lot more. I feel like that's what a lot of you are building, self-trust. Learning how to tap into your own intuition, connect with your own inner knowing, inner guidance. Also, with all the signs and synchronicities, you're getting better at communicating back and forth with the universe. And the Ace of Swords makes me think of there being some kind of peace, being at peace with information that you have been provided with or with some truth. But definitely I'm seeing a mental clarity with the Ace of Swords. And what just came through right now, looking at the rainbows, is the name or label, title, Rainbow Child. Some of you could resonate with that. That's just something that came through. Okay, but this is all I'm getting so far. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out pre-written messages from the tin can. And these can serve as extra messages, advice, and or guidance, or they could also give us a little bit more insight as to what the signs and synchronicities have been trying to tell you. And if you do have a question in mind, you can think of your question as I'm pulling out these messages, and hopefully they will give you a direct answer, or if there is a situation you would like direct guidance on, the very same thing, you can think of that situation. Or if you would like to receive a direct message from any being of light, such as a spirit guide of yours, or your spirit team as a whole, or your higher self, or the higher self of someone who is currently physically incarnated in this lifetime, you can do so as well, okay? I am going to pull out a few of them. Okay, I'm going to leave these. So we have quite a few of them here, and I will give you a moment to select a few or pick one if you would like a more personalized message. But here we have them. Okay, and I will start over here. So we have Surrender. Oh, this reminded me of a song. It is titled Surrender, and it's sung by Natalie Taylor. Oh, and there's a part of the song that goes, "My love, where are you?" And then it goes, whenever you're ready, can we surrender? I surrender. So that could be, that song or those lyrics could be of significance. But we also have... we have 1111. So this could be an angel number or a number you've been seeing often. Yeah, or could be serving as some kind of confirmation. I know a lot of people associate this number with like counterparts or like unions, partnerships. I personally, not so anymore actually, but I used to associate this number with manifestations. Also, I think when people see 1111, they take a moment to make a wish, sort of like wishing upon a star kind of thing. So, yeah, this could be also indicating that a wish is about to come true or that you are about to manifest something into your life, something you have been trying to manifest. What? Oh, what the heck? So, you guys have definitely been experiencing a lot of synchronicities. I just said this when I mentioned the song Surrender. Literally, that's how the song goes whenever you're ready. Whenever you're ready, it's repeated so many times throughout the song. Can we surrender? I surrender. So, okay. Synchronicities are definitely a thing, or something that you might have been experiencing quite a lot, and maybe that's what it has been trying to signify to you, like especially if you've been seeing 1111, 111, or just a lot of angel numbers, repeating numbers. If you have been maybe hearing a specific song pop up again and again, that's what it could be indicating for you. Like maybe these are messages coming from a counterpart, someone who you do have a soul connection to, or some psychic connection to, perhaps. They are asking you, like, are you ready? Will you surrender? Will you surrender to this union? Will you allow for it? Are you open to receive the love I have to offer? Are we ready for this? That sort of thing. But we also have keep moving forward. But you know, if you don't resonate with that whole counterpart thing, this could also be a message coming from your higher self. And then we have you've asked, I've listened, yes is the answer. So we have a direct answer here. And now I'm going to move to these bottom ones. And we have, well, it is the best to believe in oneself. A little help from others can be a great blessing. And this is a quote said by the character Iroh from the animated series Avatar: The Last Airbender. I'm trying to keep all of them in place. It's a little difficult because I'm running out of space. And we have open your heart, and when you do, think of me. Okay. Your soul and heart is never without knowing. This is making me think of trusting in yourself, trusting in your intuition, in your inner knowing. Did I mention this in this reading? I kind of forgot because I did need to stop recording for a bit to charge the camera. But I think I mentioned this in this reading, right? The greatest illusion in this world, is the illusion of separation. And this is a quote from the animated series Avatar: The Last Airbender. I have been recording for a while, you guys. So things get a bit muddled. Let's see. Less is more. Interesting. Oh, this is making me think of how messages could be becoming a lot more clear, like more concise, more direct. Or maybe this is how your communication, because I did speak about like your communication becoming simplistic. Maybe this is something about not over-explaining yourself or not feeling the need to over-explain yourself, or there not being a need. Okay. And we have a quote said by the magnificent Kim Han-bin, which goes, the word happiness is too vague, but I hope you find life worth living every day. If you know of Kim Hanbin, this artist, musician, songwriter, music producer, and performer could be of significance. We also have What Labels Me Negates Me, Soren Kierkegaard. Hope I pronounced that somewhat correctly. So this poet philosopher could be of significance as well. And we have Time does not heal the internally wounded. Life does, so live. Yeah, live your life to the fullest, to the best of your capabilities. Oh, it is in silence that listening occurs. Interesting. A movie just came to mind. It's quite interesting that this one came through, which is Silence of the Lambs. That could be someone's favorite movie, or an actress that came out in that movie could be someone's favorite, or the film director of that movie could be someone's favorite. Or someone could be a screenwriter, scriptwriter, or a writer. I'm also seeing something like someone who writes music for films or for series. That's just something that came through. Yeah, but this definitely is making me think of going within, listening to your intuition, possibly even channeling messages. For some of you, it might help to be in silence, not have any kind of distractions or a lot of noise going on around you when you are trying to maybe connect with universe, cosmos, spirits, maybe the higher self of somebody else, or with your higher self, with your spirit guides, etc. Like meditation could be something that will serve as a really good tool to connect. Okay, but let's see, these are all the messages that are coming through for you guys. I do want to point out that, of course, flowers, the number 1111, maybe the month of November could be of significance. I did mention June or Cancer season or the zodiac sign Cancer. Rainbows could also be of importance. The goddess Athena or statues. Michelangelo could be of importance. I didn't mention the word twin or twins because I was thinking of the zodiac sign Gemini being of significance. And there's something about a pendant or a necklace and amulets could be of importance as well. And I am noticing that both of these individuals in the Lovers and the Emperor card, they do have facial hair. It's just something I felt called to point out. The shape of a heart or heart-shaped things could be of significance as well. But these are all the messages that are coming, as well as seashells. But these are all the messages that are coming through. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it brought some guidance, some clarity. If it did, then please leave a like or a comment. And if you are new to this channel and you want to stick around for more readings with me, Kim, then please do subscribe. I do offer personal readings. All the information is in my website. And the link to my website can be found in the description box down below. To all of you who took the time to watch the advertisements or just let them play in the background, thank you so much for that, since that is the simplest way to support me and to support this channel. So if you did, I truly do appreciate it. And before I sign off, I want to give a thanks to my spirit team and your spirit team for assisting me with delivering these messages to you. And I'm wishing you and your loved ones a wonderful rest of your day or night, depending on when you are watching. And until the next moment, bye bye. Hello, if you chose the Locket, bienvenidos to your reading. So the Locket does make me think of opening up. I mean, I guess that's pretty obvious, but I'm also getting a bit of something being very precious to you, or something very precious being revealed to you or being acknowledged very, very soon. So it may be that you are considering thinking about, or soon you will be opening up about something that is really important to you or precious to you, or you could be deciding to start working on it. For example, if it's a dream, if it's something like a passion project, or it could be that a lot of the signs you've been seeing, a lot of the synchronicities you have been experiencing are kind of hinting at you or suggesting to you that it's safe. It's safe for you to open up. It's safe for you to explore your fantasies, or to pursue a dream of yours, or to get invested in something that you care about. I feel like a lot of you are soon going to be pursuing or working on something that you've held near and dear to your heart since you were quite young, maybe since you were a child, a kid, because this feels very precious. So I'm thinking of, for example, let's say someone as a child really loved to play dress up because they loved clothes, they loved putting together outfits, and now they are deciding to pursue a career in fashion, become a fashion designer, or there's something here about work for a modeling agency, help put outfits together, or help models get into their outfits, or someone who as a child really loved doll houses, for example, or playing with cars. Now they are deciding to pursue a career in creating miniature houses, or creating miniature things, because what they loved about the doll houses was the miniature aspect of it. Or they are now choosing to learn about mechanics and become a mechanic, or maybe, I don't know if there's a correct term for this, there most likely is, but a car designer. This is, oh, and what just came to mind, and I got chills for some reason, was the movie P.S. I Love You. So the main character, she loved shoes, yet she was working on something completely different. And throughout that time, she was a bit unhappy, she was displeased, or she was just most of the time feeling frustrated. And it's not until the end of the film that she realizes that her love for shoes can actually be translated into a profession, into a career, that she could actually pursue this love for shoes by designing her own shoes. And her first shoe design is for her friend's wedding shoes. Yeah, so there's something about you seeing that you can pursue something that you adore, something that you love doing, or you can make it into a career, or you can make it into a hobby, an occupation, or you can integrate it into your day-to-day, something along those lines. Or maybe that's what the signs and our synchronicities have been kind of hinting at, that this is possible. But I'm sensing vulnerability here with the Locket. Oh, wow. And we have romantic love and communication. Okay, so let me just get to this. So we have 39 with romantic love, and the message: the frequency of romantic love supports our journey to feel whole and complete through the experience with and reflection of a conscious lover. And then we have 14 with communication, and the message: the frequency of communication supports our ability to exchange information in many different forms. It reminds us to run every piece of information, both incoming and outgoing, through our heart, the center of our truth, to stay in the flow of source and balance exchange. And I was going to say that the Locket was reminding me of the heart chakra and heart space, but I thought that was a bit cringy. Maybe it was cringier to say that. It made me think of opening up, but yeah, there could be some kind of heart chakra activation, or it could be that the signs you've been seeing are kind of hinting at you to listen to your heart, or to open up, maybe open up to others about how you feel your feelings, or to be sincere to yourself about how it is that you truly feel. Because with romantic love and communication, there's something here about either you communicating openly and freely with a romantic partner, or you communicating openly and freely about how you feel in regards to romantic love. Maybe this is what is the precious thing for a lot of you. Your desire, your yearning, your longing for romantic love. Maybe on the surface you come off as being aloof to romantic love or romance, but at the core, you're quite the romantic. And I feel like you're being encouraged to show this side of you. And I feel like it's not that you're being encouraged. I feel like a lot of you are feeling inspired, or you're feeling inclined to show this aspect of yourself a little bit more. Be a little bit more sincere about the fact that you are into romantic love, that you are a romantic, that you love love, possibly. But for a lot of you, the signs and synchronicities you've been seeing could also be indicating or hinting, kind of giving you a heads up that you are about to receive communication from either a romantic interest, a current romantic partner, or your next romantic partner. So for those of you who are currently single and there's no romantic interest at the current moment, then this could be a heads up that very soon you are going to come in contact, and especially in communication, with someone who it's very likely that you will enter into a romantic relationship with, or that romance between you both, and more specifically romantic love between you both, will flourish, blossom, or bloom. Because we literally have what appears to be a flower in full bloom. So romance is in the air, or it will soon be in the air. And what else is coming through is there being a lot of love in your communication. And this doesn't only have to be in a romantic partnership or relationship. It could just be in your relationships in general. There's a lot of love. There's a lot of openness and vulnerability. But this is really standing out to me. Our journey to feel whole and complete through the experience with and reflection of a conscious lover. So whoever you are communicating with in a romantic way, in a romantic situation, this is someone who is quite emotionally mature, who is a conscious lover. So they are quite considerate of others. They could be quite spiritual, or you might perceive them as being spiritually awake. If you resonate with that, I'm not quite sure what that might mean for you in specific, but that is what came through. This is someone who is open to opening up and being vulnerable with another, who is eager and wanting to communicate, to get to know another. So there's little to no projection here, because this person is, by the time that you meet them, quite aware of who they are, quite in tune with themselves, or more like at peace with who they are. And so it's true that in every relationship, there is opportunity for growth and an opportunity to get to know new aspects of ourselves. It's going to happen via every relationship. Yet for this case, I feel like when you meet them, this person isn't wanting to get to know you with the intention of trying to get to know themselves a little bit more. It's like, no, if they're conversing with you, it's because they want to get to know you, right? Because they already have like a good grasp, like an idea of who they are. So it's not as if they're using you as a mirror. That's not the intention. Of course, there might be mirroring that happens in relationships. And like I said, we get to know a lot about ourselves through the people we connect with. It's going to happen. Yet I feel like that's not this person's intention. Like they're genuinely interested in getting to know you, getting to understand you. And when you meet them, they're still doing their own inner work. They're still very much taking the time to introspect and self-reflect. This is someone who is very mindful, very self-aware. They could indeed be quite spiritual. They could have a lot of purple, green, or indigo in their auric field. But definitely with the locket, and these two, they kind of look similar, right? With the locket, there's a lot of opening up. And so you will get the opportunity to speak freely, or to speak from the heart is how it's coming through. So I feel like ultimately in this connection, you and this person will get to discover new aspects of yourself, especially for you, I feel, because you will find yourself revealing new things to you as you are talking with this person, because there's something here about having no filter. So this person creates such a safe space for you to open up that you will find yourself, it's not necessarily like spilling the beans, but talking openly, sincerely. There won't be a lot of overthinking or trying to say the right thing or trying to say the thing that will impress. It's more so like whatever comes to you naturally and organically, that's what you will be saying. That's what you will be communicating. And it might even surprise you. Like, whoa, I didn't know I had that in me, or I didn't know that's how I actually felt about that, or that's how I actually thought about this. That's surprising, but once I've said it, it feels right. It feels like me. So there's a lot of like feeling seen. But I do notice we have like two major arcanas coming through here. With 14, this is the Temperance card in the tarot. And then if we add up 9 and 3, we get 12, which is the Hanged Man in tarot. So the Hanged Man is associated with the zodiac sign Pisces, and Temperance is associated with the zodiac sign Sagittarius. So Pisces and Sagittarius could be of significance, could be one of your main three or this person's main three, or Pisces and or Sagittarius season may be of significance. But the Hanged Man also often talks about spiritual awareness, enlightenment, seeing things from a different perspective. And the Temperance card can speak of balance. It can also often indicate soulmates or soul connections, divine connections if you resonate with that. So yeah, this could very well be a soul connection that is coming through for you guys. Or if you are already involved, the signs and synchronicities could be hinting at that. Okay, it's coming in two different ways. You are about to connect with your partner in a way that will allow for your souls to communicate, or you're about to communicate with your partner in a way that will allow for your souls to connect. So it could be either or both. It could also be that if you have felt a soul connection or spiritual connection between you and your partner, and you haven't yet spoken to your partner about this, you soon will be. Or maybe the signs and synchronicities are hinting at that it's safe for you to do so. But for those of you who are single, again, I feel you are being hinted at that you are about to meet someone or come into union with someone, or more like communicate with someone who you do have a soul connection to. And this could ultimately end up being your next romantic partner, or you will end up entering into a romantic relationship with this person or experiencing some kind of romance with them. But I am seeing romantic connection, romantic relationship. I am seeing some kind of commitments here. But definitely I feel overall this is talking about you speaking from a space of love, communicating from a space of love, being honest and sincere in a loving way. So maybe that's also what these signs and synchronicities are hinting at. It could also be that what is quite precious to you is romantic love, as mentioned before. And so you might be pursuing something that allows for you to talk about romantic love. So I'm thinking of someone starting a podcast in which they could talk about romantic relationships, romantic love, maybe analyze romantic films, romantic novels, that sort of thing. Some of you could end up being a marriage therapist or counselor, more like, or counselor for people who are in relationships. If you are, for example, let's say a tarot reader, you could be focusing on giving readings about romantic love, channeling messages about romantic love, and that could be your strong point. It's also making me think of an astrologer who focuses more on like synergy charts, seeing the compatibility between partners. You could also be learning, I heard something like getting a doctorate degree on communication, but on communication between partners. Also, what is coming through is if you are experiencing a rough patch with a romantic partner, or there has been no communication between you and a romantic interest, the signs and synchronicities could be hinting at you that what is needed in this relationship to help it improve, if that is what you want especially, is communication. Is for you to open up to your partner, is to have open communication with them. I feel like that's one of the main keys that will help this relationship improve or heal possibly. And for others of you, it could be that you are being encouraged to reach out to this person to either initiate or establish or re-establish communication with them. Or it could also be that you are being let known that they soon will be communicating with you. But there's something here about needing to be okay with communicating, like needing to be okay with initiating conversations, not always waiting for the other to do so, unless you have a really strong belief about that. But there is something about it needs to go both ways, not only one way. There needs to be a balance, especially with the Temperance card here, because the Temperance card shows an angel who is mixing the content between two cups, which makes me think of balance and alchemy, as well as of some kind of union, merge. But we also have humility. Wow, interesting. Yeah, so I think that for some of you, you are being encouraged to possibly initiate conversation, whether this is someone that you maybe had a falling out with and you want to reestablish communication with them, or this is someone who you are interested in, you would like to communicate with, or if you end up meeting someone that you are interested in, you're being let know that it's okay to establish or initiate communication with this person. But if it happens to be the other way around, or that's how you want it to be, where this person is the one to initiate communication first, it's important that you respond to this communication if connecting with this person is what you want, right? Because if this person initiates communication and then you give them the cold shoulder, it's not going to lead anywhere good. There's something here about not playing hard to get if what you want is reciprocity, if what you want is like openness and love and vulnerability in this relationship. But humility is also making me think of vulnerability. It's making me think of allowing for your soft side to show. Maybe that's what also the Locket was kind of indicating, that there is a soft side, there is a precious side to you, and maybe you will be finding someone who you will feel safe enough to express that side of you to. Let that side of you be. The sheep are making me think, it's making me think of being safe in a connection, feeling safe in a connection. Or maybe the signs and synchronicities are hinting at that you are safe in this connection. It's safe for you to open up. And we have dreamer. Okay, so with dreamer, I'm noticing how this person is standing on this canoe, which is most likely floating on water. And so that makes me think of something not being completely steady, because, you know, a canoe on water, it rocks. And then this person is super, super tall, so tall that their head reaches the clouds, and the clouds are kind of getting in their way, not allowing for them to see completely with clarity what is out there. And so there's something here about remembering or reminding yourself to be in the present moment. If you want to get to know someone, it's important to be in the present moment with them. This is making me think of not over idealizing someone, because sometimes we can tend to fall in love with the idea of a person rather than the person themselves. So there's a heads up about that here. I feel for those of you who are single and you have been dreaming of a romantic love, if you have a dream partner, it's very likely that who is coming in for you, or who you will be establishing communication with, will be someone who will be very, very similar to your dream person or your dream partner. And still, you are being advised to not immediately assume that this person is your dream partner. How could I best express this? Because although they might be very similar to the person you've been envisioning, there still might be some differences. And it's important for you to get to know those differences, because it's those differences that make this person you are actually communicating in the physical 3D them, right? So it's important to get to know the person who is connecting with you in this physical 3D. Don't get so caught up in as how some people like to call it the 5D, or who you think this person is or should be or could be. Because oftentimes that results in us falling in love with the idea of a person, or over romanticizing someone or idealizing someone. And when the person ends up doing something that doesn't meet that image that we have created in our minds of them, that's when there is disappointment, or that's when there is confusion or some kind of clash. So there's this feeling of, for a moment, allow your head to come down from the clouds so that you can see clearly and be in the present moment with the person who is standing right in front of you or right next to you. But it could also be with dreamer that when you are conversing with this person, being with this person is going to feel like a dream, maybe like a dream come true. Because like I said, there's a lot that you will end up experiencing with this person that you might have fantasized about. Again, it's making me think of like your fantasies, your wildest fantasies, something that you kept near and dear to your heart, like wishes, dreams of yours. It seems like they're coming true. And the color green on this canoe is making me think of the heart space. But let me now pull out some tarot cards. With the sheep and the dreamer, I am sensing that the person you are communicating with, connecting with, whether this is a current romantic partner or a future romantic partner, they themselves are quite the dreamer. They could have Pisces in one of their main three. I'm especially getting a Pisces moon or rising sign, because they have like a dreamlike quality to them. They have a softness to them as well. So they could have a softness to their voice, be soft-spoken. They could also like to use a lot of idioms in their communication, or what's it called? Proverbs, or like metaphors. They could be quite lyrical in the way that they speak. And they could also like to give a lot of compliments. Let me be clear. They only give compliments when they truly, genuinely feel called to do so, and to the people that they feel mostly comfortable with. So their love language could definitely be words of affirmation. But I'm seeing something like, I'm seeing someone and hearing someone speaking softly to another, or speaking in such a low voice, because their intention is for only the person who they are speaking to hear them. Like the message they are delivering is only meant for the person they are delivering to. And it's this feeling of sweet talk, like, or just wanting to be in this little bubble with the person that they are communicating with. I don't know, that's something that's coming through. Yeah, but let's see. We have the Page of Cups, okay, and the upright with Daydreamer and leading with heart and sensitive. Yeah, so this person or you could be quite sensitive souls. And then literally the Page of Cups is associated with Pisces. So yeah, someone here could be a Pisces sun, moon, or rising sign, or could have Pisces somewhere in their natal chart, or could be a water sign, but they are definitely quite the daydreamer, very romantic, very, very romantic. They do also have this childlike wonder to them, and with this person looking into the water here, which is a method of divination known as scrying, it is making me think of that which you foretold, maybe that which you saw in a dream, that which you envisioned, that which you imagined, that which you hoped for in terms to romantic love, romance, or romantic partnership. It is what is manifesting for you. It is what is you're calling in, or it's on its way to you. It is what is unfolding for you. So I think your spirit guides are just wanting to confirm that to you. I feel like this is a dream. It sort of feels like a seed that was planted a long time ago. A dream that was sent out into the universe a while back. So I'm now being reminded of the film Practical Magic. That scene in which the character Sally, she's just a little girl, and she's already conjuring a spell to manifest her ideal partner, right? She has different motives and intentions in that scene, but I'm kind of getting that feeling of you could have called this partner in when you were quite young, when you were quite honest with yourself, because I feel with the Page of Cups that this relationship is coming from a very pure space. It feels very pure. It feels, I'm not sure if innocent is the right word, but it definitely feels pure. But this message here is also really standing out to me, leading with heart, because I think that's also what you're being kind of reminded to lead with your heart, to embrace your more sensitive nature, your most sensitive side, to embrace maybe that you are a romantic, that you are a dreamer, realizing that that is a strength, right? Because this could be the very thing that allows for you to create beauty into this world, to bring forth beauty, because it's most likely your imaginings is what led you or is leading you to this partnership or to this person. Let's see. We also have the Three of Wands in the upright with leadership, moving forward, and initiative. Yeah, so I was speaking about initiating a conversation, initiating communication, reaching out. So a lot of you could actually be encouraged to do that, to take a more active role, perhaps. But if what you want is a partner who takes more of a leadership role, who does have initiative, who is assertive, then this is very likely the kind of partner you are manifesting. That is if you are single. or if this is kind of what you've been hoping from your partner, if you are currently in a relationship, then I feel like this is the energy your partner is stepping into, especially if this will serve and help the connection. But there is something here about reciprocity. I think reciprocity here and balance is super important. And we have the moon in the reversal with confusion, fear, and self-deception. So the moon, when it is in the upright, it often talks about hidden things, that which has yet to be revealed. So with it being in the reversal, I feel like things are about to get clear. I know we have confusion here, but I am sensing clarity, like that which you thought was hidden from you, that which you thought you didn't really have a clear answer to, you are about to get a clear answer. And it could be that a lot of the signs you've been seeing have actually been confirming something to you. First of all, they have been confirming that what you fear isn't going to come to pass. It is not. To release your doubts and to not fall into any self-deception created by fears, worries, or insecurities. Because what you are drawing, what you're calling in, what you're creating, what you're manifesting is too pure. It cannot be messed with. So there's no need to worry. Also, if you do allow for communication, right? If communication is established, a lot of clarity will come via this communication, via an open and honest conversation, perhaps. And with the Page of Cups here, there's definitely something that you saw coming, something that you foretold, or maybe that was foretold, something that was maybe predicted. And if this is something that got you excited and looking forward to the future and what is to come, this is the very thing that you're getting confirmations about, that it is true or that it is about to manifest or happen for you. And because the moon in the upright does indicate the dreams, it seems like within the reverse, that which was only a dream, or that which was part of your dream, is now coming out of the dream to be in the physical 3D. Like, it's no longer just a dream, or it's no longer just part of a dream. Now it's here. Now it's tangible. Now it's part of your reality, or soon it will be. And we do have someone here reading tarot for themselves. So some of you could be tarot readers. You could read tarot for yourself. I did give an example of like someone who might read the tarot addressing topics or questions in terms to romantic love, or for those who are interested in romantic love, about romantic relationships or romance. So yeah, that could be a confirmation for some of you. There is something here about trusting in your intuition more. You're quite intuitive, you're quite psychic. If you feel that's not true, it could be doubt that blocks you. It could be notions and ideas of, no, this is just silly. The messages that are coming through are just my thoughts. I'm just making this up. That sort of thing. This is what's blocking you, because in reality, you are channeling messages. In reality, you might be looking into the future, looking into a possible future, to be more clear. Yeah, so with 3 of Wands, there's something about you gaining a little bit of confidence in yourself. So, like, for example, if you pull cards out for yourself and then you start seeing a lot of signs, or in the cards you start seeing a lot of things repeating or confirming whatever message came up for you before, that is a confirmation to you that you are on the right track, that you are indeed receiving the messages that are meant for you to hear at that moment. So trusting yourself a little bit more. And something I did experience when connecting with the energy of this group was clairaudience. So some of you could have or experience clairaudience where you hear messages. You could often hear like a high-pitched ringing in your ear, and this has nothing to do with tinnitus. So if you are experiencing that often and you haven't gone to the doctor to get that checked out first. And if it's not tinnitus, it could very well be that you are picking up on energy through your hearing senses. You are hearing spirit, perhaps, or angels if you connect or resonate with angelic beings. You could also receive messages via text, like in books, in articles, in captions of posts, or billboards. You could receive messages via songs and lyrics. Poems is also what came through, or just sounds. So for example, let's say you are thinking about texting someone, and then all of a sudden you hear a ding coming from your phone. That could literally be a sign, a confirmation that yes, you should definitely text this person. Or you could associate certain sounds to certain things. Maybe an alarm means no and a ding means yes. Or the barking sound of dogs means pay attention or reconsider. Yeah, and that's how you could communicate. Or maybe you're being advised to do that if that resonates with you, if that intrigues you, because that could definitely be a way that you communicate, or you can communicate more directly with your higher self or with your spirit guides. And with romantic love and communication, I'm actually seeing a possibility of there being a psychic connection between you and this romantic partner or romantic interest. You could actually have some kind of telepathy going on between you both. And maybe this will become the more obvious or stronger the more you actually get to know each other in the physical 3D, the more you actually decide to communicate, openly communicate with one another, open up to one another. And the moon in the reversal is once again advising you to trust in your intuition. Trust in your intuition. Again, you're quite intuitive. So if something feels off, trust in that. If something feels right, trust in that. Don't let insecurities get to you, cloud your vision, your intuition. Don't let other people's ideas and notions also mess with you. Your intuition speaks to you quite clearly. And I feel with this illustration of a person pulling cards for themselves, you do receive a lot of signs, like a lot of signs, or you experience a lot of synchronicities. And you experience them so often that they cannot be missed. And so if you're not seeing them, it could be because you're simply dismissing them. And so it's not that universe or your higher self or your spirit team isn't communicating with you. They are. It's just that possibly you're, for some reason, just ignoring the signs or you're rejecting them. So if that resonates with you, that's something to look into. Why are you doing that? Because this word self-deception is really standing out to me. You have the answers. You do. And there's constant communication between you and your guides, you and your higher self, you and the cosmos, whoever it is that you resonate or connect with. So if you receive an answer, message, or confirmation via signs and or synchronicities, you are being advised to consider these instead of pretending like they aren't there. Because the example that is coming to mind is of someone who is reading tarot for themselves and they keep getting the same message over and over and over again. But because it isn't the answer or the message that they were wanting and or expecting, they keep drawing out more and more cards. And that's when things end up getting confusing for the person who is pulling out cards for themselves. So energy doesn't lie to you. If you are experiencing confusion, consider that it may be because you yourself are refusing to see the truth of a current situation. And to acknowledge the current energy or situation doesn't mean that you accept it. It just means that you acknowledge it so that then you can really do something about it. Create changes if change is what you want. Also, if you have been watching or listening to a lot of how do they feel about you or what they would actually say kind of readings, and it's only led to confusion, the signs could be advising you to take a break from these readings. Everyone utilizes divination in different ways, yet it's never good or it isn't really recommended to become reliant on it. Divination is meant to serve as a tool. It is like a writing tool that helps you write, but does not do the writing for you because it's not meant for that, right? So just be careful with how you are utilizing either methods of divination or things such as tarot or pick a card readings. Also, if you find that there are times in which you are struggling to connect with spirit, or read energy, or connect with your own intuitive knowing, or to channel messages, something along these lines, check if this tends to happen around the time of a full moon. If it does, then it could be because it is during the full moon that you are meant to be resting. So instead of channeling or receiving messages, you are meant to be releasing. You're meant to be cleansing. It is a time for you, for recovery. Oh, and if it happens to be the case that any of you have a loved one, more specifically someone who you were romantically involved with, like a romantic partner, a spouse who has passed on, who is currently on the other side, know that they do reach out to you, and it's possibly them who is sending you these signs, or who is conjuring or orchestrating these synchronicities for you to remind you that they're still very much with you, they're looking over and after you, and that they are celebrating you. And yeah, they only wish for your happiness. Their love for you is unconditional. And you could have quite a few visitation dreams. So if you have dreams of this person, these could be visitation dreams in which their energy, their essence, their soul, their higher self is visiting you via the dream space. Yeah, so if you have been trying to communicate with them, reach out to them, they are reaching back out to you. But let's see, anything I want to point out? The numbers 39 and 14, or the numbers 5, 12, could be of significance. We also have 1, 4, 3, or 9. With the moon I think is also associated with Pisces, traditionally so. I personally oftentimes associate the moon with Cancer. So these signs could be of significance, but definitely Pisces seems to be popping up a bit for this spread. So either a Pisces sun, moon, or rising, someone who has Pisces in their natal chart, a Pisces placement, or Pisces season could be of significance. Okay, but now I'm going to pull out some pre-written messages, and these could be like extra messages, advice, and or guidance, a little bit more insight as to what the signs and synchronicities are trying to let you know or mean. But if you would like a direct message from a being of light, like your spirit guides or your higher self, or an archangel, for example, or the higher self of someone who is currently physically incarnated in this lifetime, then you can definitely set the intentions for that as I'm drawing out these notes. And if you have a specific question in mind that you would like a direct answer to, then definitely think of your question, or you have a situation you would like guidance on, think of your situation, and hopefully the messages here will provide a direct answer. Okay, but I'm gonna get started. I just thought of doves, white doves. They could be of significance. If you see doves, like a pair of doves, that could be an important sign. Or maybe that's what you've been seeing often. Okay, one more. Okay, so I guess these are the ones we're going to consider. So here they are in case you want to choose one to get a more personalized message or assign a question to one of them. And I will start over here. Keep ripping these. They're quite old. And we have, if you love me, let me know. Yeah, definitely. Someone here needs to reach out. Or it's not about they need to, but if you want to let somebody know that you love them, let them know. No need to hold that in. We also have, for the seed, growth is growth, whether it be roots, the stem, or a single leaf. By the way, this quote here, I got it from the movie We Bought a Zoo. And there was a confession scene. And the confession scene was actually very pure because it was between two children, which kind of is reminding me or giving me Six of Cups energy. Like two children just being honest in regards to how much they appreciate the other, that sort of thing. So confessing or letting someone know how you feel about them doesn't have to imply anything. It's just you expressing yourself. But we have, in the darkest times, hope is something you give yourself. That is the meaning of inner strength. And this was said by the character Iroh from the animated series Avatar: The Last Airbender. Oh, and look what we have here. Trust. I kept repeating this word and it came up for you guys. Trust. trust in yourself. Oh, what you feel is real, do not doubt. Wow, more confirmations. There's something here about being honest with yourself. And then we have the greatest illusion of this world is the illusion of separation. Another quote from the animated series Avatar: The Last Airbender. And then we have whenever you're ready. So I'm seeing consent here, which is always important. Should never be disregarded. We also have, if I love myself, I love you. If I love you, I love myself. And then this is a quote from Rumi. Yeah, so there's a lot of self-awareness. There's a lot of responsibility and accountability going on here. I don't feel like your partner has that mindset of you fix me or you complete me or you do the work for me. No, I have to also take care of myself. Also give myself some love, so I will also be able to pour some love into this relationship and share with you in this energy of love. We also have, it's okay to ask for help. Okay, it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to open up to others about what is going on, especially those who you feel safe with. I don't know. I mean, I feel a lot of love when my loved ones feel safe with me to open up about things that they are worried about, things that maybe is hurting them or that they are concerned about, or when they are honest with me. I feel a lot of love when that happens because it makes me know that, wow, they do feel safe with me. I am offering them a safe space. It makes me feel like I'm doing something good, in the relationship. So yeah, I think sometimes it's thought or believed, and this is not to say that this is what you might believe, but it's just something that's coming up, that opening up to others, it's like bothering others. But no, if you're with people who genuinely love you and care for you, I think it's sort of a bit like an honor to know that you could be that safe space for someone that you love. So just maybe something to think about and consider. And we have truth. So truth has been spoken, or truth will be spoken, or it's time to speak truthfully. Or it seems like I said, you have been receiving some kind of answer or confirmation, and maybe you have been questioning whether it's true or not, and your guys are like, no, this is the truth. And we have yesterdays and tomorrows do not exist in the now, only the present does. Okay, but these are all the messages. Yes, I believe they are. Yes, these are all the messages that are coming through for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it brought some guidance, some clarity. If it did, then please leave a like or a comment. And if you are new to this channel and you want to stick around for more readings with me, Kim, then please do subscribe. I do offer personal readings. All the information is in my website, and the link to my website can be found in the description box down below. To all of you who took the time to watch the advertisements or just let them play in the background, thank you so much for that, since that is the simplest way to support me and to support this growing channel. So if you did, I truly do appreciate it. And before I sign off, I want to give a thanks to my spirit team and your spirit team for assisting me with delivering these messages to you. And I'm wishing you and your loved ones a wonderful rest of your day or night, depending on when you are watching. And until the next moment, bye-bye. Hello, if you selected the pin Friend of Optimists, bienvenidos to your reading. So for whatever reason, this pin immediately reminded me of the character Casper, the friendly ghost. So this character, or even the 90s film Casper, could be of significance. Also, Friendship, Maine came to mind, which was the location in which Casper was filmed. So Maine or the northeast of the United States could be of significance. Yeah, just something I wanted to share because it did come through. So now I'm going to pull out some cards. And also, friend is of course reminding me of the television show or series Friends. So if that happens to be your favorite television series, then that may be serving as some kind of confirmation. But let's see. Oh, okay. That was a mess. But this is the card that actually fell out facing up. So this is the card that I'm going to consider. And we have number 30 with integration and the message. The frequency of integration supports our embrace of every aspect of ourselves, allowing what we perceive as positive and what we perceive as negative to harmonize in a balanced symphony of life. So the number 30 may be of significance. Also, the number 3 could be of importance. Some of you could be a life path number 3, or you could have been born on the 30th of a month or on the month of March. Or you could be currently 30 years of age or soon will be turning 30. And if so, this could be serving as some kind of confirmation. And if not, don't worry about it. Yet with the number 30, I am being reminded of a Saturn return. So some of you could be currently going through, or very soon you will be going through your Saturn return. And maybe that's what the signs or the synchronicities you have been experiencing are giving you a heads up about. And usually when we experience a Saturn return, that's a time in which I wouldn't say are tested, but we are given several opportunities for us to apply the lessons that we have learned. And with integration, it's making me think of, have you integrated the lessons that you have learned recently or so far? Or what is it that you have learned? So I wonder if recently you have had experiences that remind you of past experiences. And so if you have, then I think this is because of either a Saturn return or because you are being given an opportunity to bring closure to a certain situation or to an energy, or learn some kind of lesson, leave something in the past, release an energy, maybe even a mindset, a pattern, a tendency that no longer serves you. So the signs you've been seeing or the synchronicities you have been experiencing are kind of telling you this is an opportunity for growth. If you see that things are popping up again, it's because these are opportunities for major breakthroughs or for growth or for leveling up or for just getting out of maybe an energy or a situation that you yourself can no longer want to be in or that you want to evolve from. I also get the feeling with the number 30 that you are being hinted through these signs and synchronicities that you will be getting second opportunities. So certain things that maybe at some point you thought you missed out on or that you weren't able to fully invest in or make the best out of it per se, they're coming back around. Because with integration, there's this feeling of you're being let know that you're getting an opportunity either to bring closure, close a chapter, release, move on from, level up or evolve from, or expand on, make something out of. Because the number 3 is a number that often represents expansion, growth, creativity. The third major arcana of the tarot deck is the Empress card, which is a card of abundance, of growth, of fertility, of creation. So it's most likely that the signs you've been seeing are telling you to pay close attention, because this is a time of major breakthroughs. This is a time in which you can, in a way, shift realities, jump timelines, or simply create a new reality for yourself. And with the message, the frequency of integration supports our embrace of every aspect of ourselves. It did make me think of self-acceptance, of course, which reminded me again of the character Casper, because Casper was seen as an outcast. Casper was often misjudged for being a ghost and was often misunderstood for his desire to establish friendships with or be friendly to the humans. Because there was this notion that ghosts did not befriend humans, the living beings. Instead, they haunted them or frightened them, etc. So this is making me think of accepting yourself as you are and not going along with what is usually expected of you or what society expects from you because of certain beliefs or because of where you come from, how you grew up, your background, your nationality, your heritage, culture, etc. Because Casper the Friendly Ghost went against all norms. And he always continuously stayed true to himself. And when he tried to adapt to his fellow ghosts, things really didn't work out for him. So there's something here about coming back to yourself as well as integrating all aspects of yourself, right? Because this image alone makes me think of the notion that we are all multidimensional, multifaceted individuals. And so I feel like you're being reminded of that, right? You're not two-dimensional. You are an intricate being. And I don't know why I keep thinking of merging different timelines, like merging different possibilities. I do get the feeling that you are in the midst of creating some new reality. It's sort of like if you had been presented with two options, option A and option B, and neither of them was to your liking, or both of them were to your liking. And so because you liked both of them, you couldn't decide upon one. And you were conflicted for quite some time, not being able to make up your mind. And then all of a sudden you get this aha moment where you realize that, wait a minute, why do I have to choose one or the other? Why can't I create a third option in which I can merge both option A and B? And this will be the option that I will then choose. This will be an option made of my creation. So if that resonated with you, then maybe the signs are hinting at you that you can definitely do this, that you can merge two or more things, that you can create an alternative option for yourself, that you don't have to choose something that was pre-selected for you or that is already out there. Because if you're having a tough time deciding upon what is already out there, it could be because what is for you is something that you yourself will end up creating. Also, integration is making me think, of course, of adding something. And with the number 3, a lot of you could be expanding upon something that you are already working on by adding something, integrating something to it. It's making me think of a company that is integrating or adding a new department. Another example that is coming to mind is of a tarot reader who integrates their knowledge of either astrology or psychology in order to give more in-depth and insightful or even therapeutic readings. So I think the signs have been hinting at you that you can expand on something, you can develop something further, or you can create something new, something of your own, something original, if you're not quite pleased with your current situations or with your current options. Also, I feel like the signs are telling you that there's no such thing as a stagnation. Or if you feel stuck, the signs have been trying to tell you that there is a way to get unstuck, or that you are not in actuality stuck, because there's still something that you can do to move things along or move things forward, or to help re-inspire you, perhaps. So if it is the case that you are feeling stuck or you are feeling uninspired, I think that what might help you is to look back on your past, because what might end up inspiring you or offering you a solution or offering you an alternative will be something that you did in the past. It's making me think of an artist, a painter, let's say, who is rummaging through their closet, and then they stumble upon their old sketchbook from middle school or high school, and then they start flipping through their sketchbook and getting inspired by their old artwork. And this is when ideas strike. This is when now they know how to move forward, because their old work made it clear to them what it is that they feel they are missing currently, or what their work is missing currently. Yeah, because I talked about timelines, right? And when it comes to time, it isn't exactly linear. So there's something here about either gaining assistance from your past self or from the past, or even gaining assistance from the future, your future self. So some of you could even be exploring something that hasn't been done yet, which goes back to that message that came through previously. You know, if right now what you see out there is not inspiring you, it most likely could be because you yourself are meant to create that which will end up inspiring you, or might end up inspiring a whole new generation. It's making me think of like the musician who is looking for a song, but they've been searching and searching and they just can't find the right song that will scratch an itch. And they realize, man, if I can't find it, then I will create it myself. And then they do, and they create an out of this world kind of song. They create a whole new genre. They create a whole new style of music. So that could be the case for some of you. But definitely integration, I think, is hinting at that. It's time to embrace maybe your individuality, your uniqueness, your originality. It's time to embrace yourself as you are. Maybe some of you have been for a while now trying to fit into some kind of box. You have been trying to go along with maybe the trends or what others in your industry are doing, or you have been doing so in attempts to learn. Because it is making me think of someone who is learning how to draw. So as they are learning, they take inspiration from other artists, or they copy other artists' drawings for learning purposes only, right? As a form of exercise. But as they get a little bit more skilled, as they get a little bit more confident, that's when they start experimenting to find their own style. Right? So maybe that has been the case for some. And if it has, then the signs are kind of hinting at you that it's time to get explorative, experimental, in attempts to find your unique style. Because I don't know why, but the number 30 made me think of a shell or a clam, and it reminded me of the expression coming out of your shell, like, or it's making me think of a blossoming as well, like coming into your own sort of thing, which is a similar message that came up for another group. But for you guys, it feels more like you're being encouraged to create or to experiment or to feel more confident in your unique style and your unique approach. But we have union, interesting. And we have potential. Yeah, so, okay, this just gave me a whole different vibe and message. So with union, this could be speaking of inner union, you know, the same as embracing every aspect of yourself, embracing those aspects that are quite unique to you. But this also made me think of a union between you and another person. Oh, union also made me think of a merging of two ideas, two different concepts, two genres, two topics, two subjects, two career fields, two occupations, two professions. Especially with potential, it seems like there's great potential for something. So maybe some of you have had an idea to merge two things, maybe two businesses, or to enter into some kind of partnership, business partnership, or collaboration, work with another. And I think the signs are hinting at you that this is a good idea, that if you do feel inclined to go for this, to go for it, because I think something beautiful will come out of this. But definitely this could be talking about you coming into union with another. And it doesn't have to be in order to work on something together or create something together. It could simply be you coming into union with another to connect, to get to know one another, to grow and evolve together, or to teach each other important life lessons, or to share with each other what it is that you have come to learn. Yeah, and actually with this message, friend of optimists, it could be that the signs have been hinting at you that you are about to come into union or in alignment with people who you will end up establishing beautiful friendships with, people who you will feel a great resonance with, who will match your vibe, maybe even who you have shared other lives with. I say other lives because remember, I did talk about time being non-linear, right? So yeah, these could be individuals that maybe you've met in past lives, but it could be like souls that you will also connect with or are already connecting with in some future timeline, in some future reality, in your next incarnation per se. But this wreath here is making me think of marriage. So there could be some kind of marriage, some kind of commitments that you're being hinted at. But this also makes me think of a marriage of two concepts. So I do feel for a lot of you, this is talking about you merging two different fields or two different concepts, two different genres, or you're being let know that that is possible, that you can create a third entity, like a third option by you merging two options that you are already aware of. Oh, and you know, with the seed here, and then number 3, for some, this could actually be talking about like through a relationship, through a connection, creating life, creating a third human being. Yeah, so for those of you who are sexually active and you are planning for pregnancy, then I do see good news in regards to that. Maybe some of you have been seeing a lot of signs about pregnancy or giving birth or like fertility, fatherhood, parenthood, etc. Yet potential is also talking about growth. With this seed already having taken root, it seems like something is already in the works. So, like I said, either you already have received an idea for some kind of project or for some kind of creation, and so this already has been set into motion. It's more so about bringing this into the physical 3D, or if you have already taken steps to creating this, bringing this to life, the signs have been hinting at you that yes, this is in the works and it has great potential. So keep at it, keep at it. Yeah, maybe the word optimist is hinting, especially with the potential card, you are being encouraged to stay optimistic about this because it is unfolding. Maybe you can't see how it is growing because it's still in its first stages. You know, when a seed grows, it doesn't grow upward immediately. First it grows downwards, and that growth we ourselves cannot see because it's happening underground, you know, in the dark. So maybe what you have been experiencing so far is the rooting process, which is the part that goes unseen by us. But it has taken root, and very soon you will start to see tangible results or tangible progress, because then comes the whole sprouting process. But there is something here about not shying away from what makes you you. Sometimes we demonize, and I am using that word because that's the word that came through, certain aspects of ourselves, certain characteristics or even qualities, traits that are unique, right? That aren't, let's say, conventional. Yet that doesn't mean that it is something that should be kept in the dark. Or that should not be acknowledged and should not be also celebrated. For whatever reason, the creator Tim Burton is coming to mind. I think it's because Tim Burton's style rocked the world, rocked the entertainment or creative world, because his style was so unique and so different from what we had seen up until that point. And it did call attention to it because of its uniqueness. Yet, if Tim Burton had kept that to himself, if he hadn't shared it with the world or seen it as something beautiful, something artistic, then he probably would have never allowed for it to grow and for it to become what it is today. And his style of art ended up opening doors to so many other artists who also had a similar vision as to Tim Burton. Yeah, and actually this message friend of optimism makes me think of like a niche, something that is very niche. So a lot of you could be creating something that is quite niche. I'm also thinking of Jane Austen, for example. She brought something new to literature that hadn't been seen before, but then over time became the norm or became a writing style. So yeah, I think you're being encouraged to not shy away from standing out for a while, not shying away from doing something that maybe is unconventional. And coming at this from a very pure space, right? One of playfulness and creativity and wonder. Okay, and we have the sun with success, optimism, and openness. Wow. Okay, so the word optimism has showed up for you twice. So I do feel like the signs, especially if you've been seeing anything that reminds you of the sun or is a symbol of the sun imagery often, that may be reassurance to you to stay optimistic, because there is going to be some kind of successful outcome. So stay open to the opportunities, stay open to the possibilities. Oftentimes, we don't see how things are going to turn out for the better or how things are going to look up. And that could result in us feeling or being pessimistic about the whole situation, which is understandable. I mean, it's quite logical that that would be the case. Yet, if this does happen to be your case, I think the signs you've been seeing, the synchronicities you have been experiencing are hinting at you that there is a successful outcome. Things are about to look up. And, it's possible that a lot of the work, a lot of the putting the pieces into place has been happening behind the scenes. Like universe, the cosmos, if you believe in that sort of thing, they have been working behind the scenes to bring everything into alignment, kind of to, again, set the pieces in place so that then something can be set into motion. So just as an example, let's say you've been looking for a job and you've had in mind what kind of job you want, what kind of salary, the benefits, and so forth. And so far, you've had no luck in the job department. Yet, throughout this whole time you've been job hunting, things have been unfolding behind the scenes, because the job position that you want first needs to be available. And so there's someone who has that same job position and currently they're being encouraged to look for a different job because maybe for them, they are going through some kind of transition in their life and it's time for them to change career paths or try something new and different. And so universe has been working with them to encourage them to take this leap of faith. And then once they do, then they need to push or nudge, let's say, the head of that department to look for another person who might want to take that now available position and start taking in candidates. And then universe has to make it so that that job opportunity comes into your awareness, it reaches you in some way, that you hear about it, that you know about it. And then they have to, in a way, help you and nudge you or encourage you to apply for that job position. Because maybe at first glance, it might not seem like the thing that you are looking for, but it is the very thing that you are looking for or the very thing that you need. And so there's so much going on, right? And that takes time, right? And so there's this feeling of things have been happening behind the scenes, but now there's going to be some kind of tangible proof that there has been work behind the scenes, because the sun speaks about exposure. It speaks about revelations, being seen. And so they are advising you to possibly to, yes, stay optimistic and also look at your surroundings, pay attention and be open to the opportunities, right? Because sometimes we get set on certain things and that doesn't allow for us to see what is actually out there and to see what may serve us and how one thing can guide us to something else. So stay open is what is coming through with the sun. And I was talking about playfulness, and actually the sun card is one of the major arcanas of the deck that speaks about that childlike wonder, playfulness, joy, fun. So there is something here about having fun with something that you're doing, working on, especially for those of you who are creators, or to, again, think outside of the box, right? Realize that sometimes it's not one or the other. Sometimes there is an alternative, and you can definitely be the creator, right? If what is out there is not to your liking, then you most definitely have it in you to create that which you are seeking, right? And the Sun card in the traditional tarot or in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck often depicts a baby. So again, it's making me think of birth, of fertility, of pregnancy. So yeah, there could be something about a pregnancy, a marriage or a union resulting in the birth of a child, in the creation of a new life. Do I? Okay. And then we have the Five of Cups in the upright with focus on loss, unwelcome changes, and trauma. I'd like to point out how this card didn't fall out. It just stuck to my hand, or I just ended up holding on to it for whatever reason. So it makes me think of someone having difficulty letting go of something. And so with the Five of Cups, if there is some kind of ending or you are being nudged to walk away from something, it's for a reason. It is for a reason. This is not to say that endings won't be difficult or that they aren't difficult, because they could very well be. Yet with the Five of Cups, you're being encouraged to once again stay optimistic. If you feel the need to mourn and to grieve any kind of ending or maybe a loss, do so. That is okay. You don't have to be all chirpy about something that you genuinely feel upset about. Like, it's okay for you to feel through your genuine emotions. It's just that if your mind is starting to get the best of you, conjuring these thoughts of, oh, things are never going to look up, or this is it, another great opportunity won't present itself to me, it's rock bottom from here, something along those lines, the signs are trying to get you to see that this is not the case, right? That this is simply an ending that is giving way to a new beginning. This is an ending that is in a way directing you to something better, or that is here to help you grow, or more like to help you level up, because it could be the case for some that whatever is ending, if that is the case for you, or whatever it is that you might be walking away from or will be coming to some kind of close, is something that wasn't really allowing for you to grow, or was stifling you in some way, or wasn't allowing for you to realize your potential, or possibly even to unite with people who you could end up working with to create something new, or to create something that would help you grow, or grow your skills, or grow a skill set, or that you will end up enjoying or would enjoy working on a lot more. And so this is the reason why this needed to come to a close. And then we have the Knight of Coins in the upright with responsible, consistent, and hardworking. And the Knight of Coins is actually a very beautiful energy. The Knight of Coins is someone who doesn't give up, someone who is a go-getter, and who can be quite optimistic because they see solutions where other people just see problems. They see opportunities for growth, to learn. They see opportunities to develop their skills. So with the Knight of Coins, there is definitely some kind of new beginning. But I like that it is the Knight of Coins and not the Page of Coins, because this lets me know that if you are starting something new, or you're starting somewhere new, or there is some kind of start, it's not going to be like you starting from the ground up, or you starting all over again, needing to work your way up all over again. No, because with the Knight of Coins, there's this feeling of you are leveling up right from where you left off, right? So with integration, it's making me think of someone who, let's say, has recently come out of a job, but in that job, they were able to get promoted to a manager position. And so for their next job, they don't have to start off as a part-time. Because they have this experience as a manager, they already have the know-how, the knowledge, they already have the references per se. They get to start at their next job at a manager position. That's kind of the vibe I get with the Knight of Coins. It's like starting somewhere new, but right where you left off, to then be able to grow from there. Because integration makes me think of integrating what you know or have come to learn into something new and building your way up from there. And the Knight of Coins can be quite passionate. Yet what I like about the Knight of Coins is that this energy knows how to channel their passionate energy in a very constructive way. It's not all over the place. And so the Knight of Coins is very focused. They know what they want. They know what they're aiming for. So again, there's something here about you developing upon something, or you working on something that you set your mind to, or that you have a clear vision about, or that you know where you want to take it. You know what you want for it to be, or you have kind of an idea. So I do see you either starting something or developing upon something that you are currently working on. And with the Five of Cups, you are letting go of anything that isn't serving you. So it could also be that there's certain signs, because I think you've been receiving different signs and experiencing different synchronicities that are kind of hinting at different things. And so there's some signs you've been seeing that are guiding you on what isn't working, or what maybe should be left alone or should be left behind, because it's not going to serve you moving forward, or it's not really going to serve whatever it is that you're trying to create or develop. So for example, you could experience certain interruptions. Maybe you're trying to push for something, and it's just not working out because you keep getting interrupted over and over and over again. And these interruptions could be a sign in and of itself that this isn't it, to maybe reconsider. Maybe you're just being advised to reconsider. Is this really the best option? Is this really the best approach, more like? Or take the time to consider your other options. Take a moment to really think about another kind of approach that will be either more resourceful or more efficient. Because the Knight of Coins is hardworking, yet the Knight of Coins is quite intelligent. It makes me think of working smart, not hard, right? So I think universe or your spirit guides, they're really working with you at this time to help you find a method, a way that doesn't drain you, right? That is quite fun and enjoyable, and that is efficient as well. Because with the Five of Cups, I can't help but notice that this person here looks so tired. And so you feel like you've been working nonstop, or you've been working very hard and the results have been not that great, then it could be because a new approach is needed. Because I feel like you're being led into an era in which it's not about working for the sake of working. I think you're entering into a time of enjoying the work that you do, loving the work, having fun at work, being playful with what it is that you're working on, and not needing to work so tirelessly. So it could even be an era in which you will find yourself working a lot less, yet seeing better or more results. There's this feeling of producing more without draining yourself, or without the work being so draining, something along those lines. And there's something here about realizing that nothing is linear, that there will be ups and downs. And so it's kind of, in a way, getting comfortable with those moments in which we are feeling down, because we know that soon this phase will come to its end or will transition into an up. So if you have days in which you're feeling low, then that doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong. It just means that you're going through the motions, because we are humans and we're bound to experience an array of emotions. And so if you're feeling low or not as enthusiastic, not as optimistic, you're not doing anything wrong. You're simply going through the motions, and it's better to just go through the motions and try to resist it. But it's also important to keep in mind that we're not always meant to be in this state as well, right? It's okay for you to feel through your feels, yet it's important to also help ourselves out when we are feeling low by reminding us that there are things to look forward to, or more things or good things to experience. And I feel like a lot was touched upon in this reading, so I hope it didn't end up getting confusing. But I do feel like you have been receiving quite a few different messages lately, and it feels like they all do connect in some way, or they all do relate. Because again, the sun here is making me think of partnerships. We literally have two people here, so there could be something about a partnership. The word marriage keeps coming to mind, so there could be something about a marriage. This could be about like integrating a new member into the family. There were messages about birth, pregnancy, parenthood. There was also messages about playfulness and enjoying yourself, being creative, allowing yourself to create something new or to expand on something that you're currently working on, to stay optimistic, see your options, be open to options, and to embrace your uniqueness, right? To embrace what makes you you, because that's what makes you powerful. That's what makes you unstoppable. And the Knight of Coins also makes me think of someone who is quite optimistic. They have a goal in mind. They have something for which they are working towards too. So I do feel like a lot of you have received some kind of idea, or you have an idea for some project or something that you want to start working on. And so I feel like the signs only have been hinting at you that yes, this is a really good idea, to go for it, to start working on it, and that you will be supported along the way. And that you are being recommended to at some points take it slow with this, meaning don't feel like you need to rush, because what's important here is to create stable foundations, right? So if you need to slow down a project, to check it, to revise it, to review it, see that everything is in order, see that everything is in place, then do so. There's something here about not jumping steps. I think that if you are choosing to expand upon something or to start something new, it will be very favorable for you and for what it is that you're working on if you don't skip any steps when it comes to it. Because that could end up biting you in the butt at some later point, and it will just end up being a great nuisance that you will have to deal with then. And so I think what the signs are trying to tell you is attend to it now. Do everything properly is how it's coming through. Like if I just thought of Monsters Incorporated of Mike Wazowski, how he often forgot to file in the paperwork and he was often reminded to do so. So it's like if you need to file in some paperwork, don't skip on that. Do it. If you need to meet some regulations, make sure that they're met so that you don't have to deal with unnecessary shenanigans later on. Yeah, and with integration, apply the lessons that you have learned. You have gained a lot of experience. You have a lot of experience, a lot of know-how. Apply it. Because a lot of that which you have come to experience, a lot of that what you have come to learn from the lessons you have experienced, they will serve you in this new beginning or in this next chapter or whatever it is that you're venturing into next. It will come in handy. Yes, and definitely there could be some business partnership. I am seeing relationships here. I did speak about a marriage, but I am seeing a business partnership as well. So again, a lot of different things came through in this reading, so I hope it doesn't end up being so confusing. But of course, only take that which resonates with you, which makes the most sense for your current situation. For example, if you have been thinking about starting a business or starting something new, then the messages that spoke about creating something new or developing upon something may very well apply to you. And maybe not so much the whole marriage or pregnancy thing. But for those of you who are currently in a committed relationship and you are wanting to move on to the next level of commitment with your significant other, or you have been talking about long-term commitment or marriage, then the messages about marriage could very much apply to you, as well as like pregnancy, starting a family, if that's in the plans or in the current works. Yeah, and if you have experienced recently some kind of ending, then the message about staying optimistic and that there will be a favorable outcome or things are about to turn around for the better for you could definitely be for you, right? So only take that which resonates. And if all of them resonate, then all of them might very well apply to you. Okay, but let's see. The Sun card is associated with the zodiac sign Leo. The Knight of Coins is associated with Earth signs, so that would be Capricorn, Virgo, and Taurus. I'm especially getting Taurus vibes. Taurus in the 4th house is what came through. With the number 3, this could be indicating Gemini. I don't know why the potential card is making me think of Pisces. So the zodiac sign Pisces or Pisces season may be of significance. And things I want to point out are, of course, the word optimist, the word friend, the number 3, literal signs. So you could be receiving a lot of messages via signs, like signs that you see on roads or on buildings, on doors, even mats, like doormats, for example. What else is coming through is messages on billboards or even messages on notifications. Like, for example, you get a notification and you look at your phone quickly and word or a couple words really stands out to you. That could be of significance. I'm also seeing something like receiving messages via the books that you read or articles or even captions on posts, for example. I'm noticing we have plants here, so plants could also be of significance. Oh, also messages on mugs or ceramics could be some kind of sign or hint for a lot of you. Sunflowers are also coming through, and berries. Yeah, but now I'm going to move on to the last part of this reading, in which I am going to be pulling out pre-written messages to get any last messages, advice, and or guidance, as well as maybe get a little bit more info as to what the signs and or synchronicities have been hinting at or have been trying to convey to you. Also, if you have a question that you would like a direct answer to, you can think of your question as I'm pulling out these notes. Or if you have a situation you would like direct guidance on, you can think of that situation as well. And hopefully these notes will offer you an answer or direct guidance. Yeah, so I'll get started. Also, if you like, you could set the intention to receive a direct message from any being of light, such as your higher self, a spirit guide, your spirit team as a whole, or the higher self of somebody else who is currently physically incarnated in this lifetime. Okay, I just want to pull out one more there. I think this is it, so I'm just going to lay them out as such so you can take a good look at them, and if you'd like, you can select a few of them or assign a question to some of them so that you can get a more personalized message. Okay, but I will get started over here with this one. So we have, if you love me, let me know. This one has come up for a few groups already. And I do shuffle the notes in between every reading. Or mix them around more like, oh, we have it'll be all right. Yeah, I feel like, yeah, if you're going through a tough time right now, a rough patch, I think the signs, especially signs, have been trying to let you know that it'll be all right. Your spirit guides, I feel like your spirit guides, even angelic beings, if you connect with angelic beings, or believe in angels, guardian angels, they have been trying to tell you that it'll be all right. It'll be all right. They are looking after you, and they have some things, how it came through is aligned for you or worked out for you or set for you. Like they already have something set for you. It doesn't mean that you have to go with it, but they do have it as an option for you, but it's set for you. So you don't really have to work for it or fight for it. It will just be available to you. Something along those lines. So this could be like an opening for a job position or some kind of opportunity. So that's why there was a point in the reading in which you were being encouraged to keep a lookout, right? To be open to the opportunities that do come through. And we have, you are doing such a beautiful job, so more encouragement. I feel like most of all, you are being encouraged during this time to stay optimistic, know that everything is going to be all right, and that you're doing a really good job, right? So please, if you tend to be quite difficult or hard on yourself, don't be, because you are doing a magnificent job. Especially you're doing great with what you have and doing great in your current situation. So we have your soul and heart is never without knowing. So if you feel in your heart of hearts that everything is going to be all right, even if you don't, with your physical eyes, see how things could turn around for the better, then trust in your heart, because you feeling this way is for a reason. We also have, I am here for you always. I will wait for you. When you least expect. Okay. Don't give up. Not yet. Interesting that these came up side by side, or I felt called to reveal them one after the other, because I feel they go pretty much together. Not yet. Don't give up. It's not time to give up yet. The seed knows to root first before reaching for the sky. How interesting that this message came up for you, seeing that you got the potential card, because this is literally a seed that rooted first before reaching for the sky. So remember this, the seed knows to root first before reaching for the sky, because it's only in rooting that it will be able to survive and thrive. And wow, I have not given up. So this could be a message coming from your future self, right? Because we spoke about time not being linear. Your future self could be telling you, or your higher self could be telling you, that they have not given up. This could also be coming from your spirit guides, like they have not given up on you. They're very much here with you. They know there's a favorable outcome waiting for you. They know there is a success story behind all of this, or you are on your way to reaching a point in which you will be able to talk about, tell others about your success story. We also have reconsider. So I did mention that some of the signs you could see, or some of the synchronicities more like that you experience, could be advising you to reconsider. I did give that example of if you start experiencing a lot of interruptions. It could be a sign to reconsider, to maybe take a moment to think of other options, or see if how you're doing things is the best way for you, or if this is actually what you want to go with, what you want to do. And we also have remember. This is making me think of remember your dreams, remember your goals, remember yourself, remember how awesome you are. Okay, but these are all the messages that are coming through for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it brought some guidance, some clarity. If it did, then please leave a like or a comment. And if you are new to this channel and you want to stick around for more readings with me, Kim, then please do subscribe. I do offer personal readings. All the information is in my website, and the link to my website can be found in the description box down below. Thank you so much to all of you who took the time to watch the ads or just let them play in the background, since that is the simplest way to support me and to support this channel. So if you did, I truly do appreciate it. Oh, and before I sign off, I want to give a thanks to my spirit team and your spirit team and your future self and any other version of yourself for assisting me with delivering these messages to you. And I'm wishing you and your loved ones a wonderful rest of your day or night, depending on when you are watching. And until the next moment, bye bye.